Okay, guys, let's begin with the video. Uh, Today we're going to cover in this lecture. It would be all concepts of economics, and yeah, it is going to be a comprehensive video containing all the important topics and important concepts of economic subject. So basically, after you watching this video, you would be in a position that you will be confident enough to at least attempt the exam with a, and you will definitely going to get good numbers out of it. So okay, without wasting a single minute, let's begin with the lecture. Guys, tell me, you guys have understood something which is called costing concept. You have understood something called as a market, and you have not understood. Okay, this video is basically for you. Okay, so I will first introduce you with that is a flow of lecture. First, that is we're going to hit the concept that is called as a market. So we're going to start with something called as a market. Yeah, market and all the concept related to market. What is supernormal profit? What is shutdown point loss? What is excess profit? Okay, guys, I would like to bring to your notice that mathematics and economics are two subjects wherein there are different ways of getting to a concept. So I hope you guys have understood the concept from various places. So that is correct. It is my way of basically, I also study or I also teach in basically main lectures in a very detailed manner, but how to get the answer in terms of curve concept very quickly. So I'll basically give that tricks. So you follow your method, that is totally and acceptable. But at the same time, I will give you some that is tricks how to get the correct answer, but that is in a very time bound manner. So basically, the most important thing that is an MCQ, that is marking the MCQ correct, but at the same time solving it very quickly because you guys have got time constraint in the exam. So guys, let's start with the video. So first, that is I'm going to cover that is market. Along with market, I'm going to cover that is cost of production too. So that would be the thing which I am going to teach you together. Nextly, that is something which is called as we're going to study the concept of cost of production. Along with I'm going to the next concept would be our money and banking. The next concept would be, just a minute guys, it would be our money and banking concept. Nextly, we're going also to cover something which is called basic concepts. Just a second. Yeah, just a second guys. We're also going to cover something which is called as basic concepts. So that way it is going to be. So we're going to cover in that manner. So guys, we're going to start something which is called as a market. So before initiating with market, I would like to basically make you all understand something which is called as what is fixed cost, what is variable cost. First understand that and then we can move forward. Okay, let's start with the video. Okay, first guys, there is a cost, something which is called total cost. And total cost guys, whenever we start business, we are required to put in some amount of investment. That is called as a cost. Cost is in the form of expenditure which is required to be made in order to start, run and operate and manage the affairs of the business. So guys, example, the total cost is nothing but inclusive of two costs. One that is fixed cost and another one something which is called as a variable cost. One is fixed cost and another one is called as a variable cost. Guys, what is fixed cost? What is variable cost? Again, is the matter of fact, let's study in a very easy manner what is fixed cost and what is variable cost. Example, there is Mr. A. There is Mr. A who wanted to produce, or basically is a producer who wanted to engage himself in the production of shoes. Okay, so basically went to Mr. B. Mr. B was in the possession of land. So he asked Mr. B, hey Mr. B, can you please give me this piece of land on rent? And whereas Mr. B agreed, but Mr. B agreed to charge Mr. A on per month basis a rupees of 10,000 as a rent. So Mr. A agreed to that. Okay, so the deal was done. So now Mr. B handed over the possession of land on 1st January to A. Then guys, tell me, what is the sole purpose of Mr. A for the purpose of taking this land on rent? The sole purpose was nothing but production of shoes. So in the month of January, February and March, the production turnover of Mr. A was as follows. That is, Mr. A took this property, on rent which was supposed to be paid to Mr. B of rupees 10,000. Yeah, so that way in Mr. A, that is produced in the month of January, February and March, the production of Mr. A in the month of January was zero quantity, absolutely zero quantity. February it was 30 cr quantity. In the month of March it was only 30,000 quantity. Guys, you tell me now, what was the main reason for which the property was being taken on rent by Mr. A? Sir, the reason was production. But Mr. A made no production. He got the possession of land on 1st January itself. But in the month of January, the production made was zero quantity. And in the next month, he made a whooping amount of production that was 30 crore quantity. And in the last month, that is March month, he got the production of 30,000 quantity. So it was the turnover. Now guys, you guys tell me, now, did Mr. A require to pay rent to Mr. B for the month of January? Absolutely yes. The reason being, whether he produces or not produces, it is not the lookout of Mr. B. So here Mr. A is required to pay Mr. B a rent of rupees 10,000. A rent of rupees 10,000. So basically, he will require to pay 10,000 a year. So now in the month of February, he increased the production from 0 to 30 crore quantity. How much rent is required to pay? Again is 10,000. But sir, why? He is producing more quantity, so more rent is required to be given. No, it does not work like that. It is a type of the cost which remains in the business in the same quantity. That is, the cost will remain the same. Whether he produces more commodity, whether he produces less commodity, or whether he produces no commodity, the amount of cost is going to remain the same. Hence, it is called as a fixed cost. So basically, fixed cost is that cost which always stays in the business. Fixed cost is that cost which always stays in the business. That is, whether output is increased, whether output is decreased, or whether output is zero. Fixed cost is always going to remain the same. That way. So it is always going to remain the same. Whether, that is, this cost is not related with the quantity of output. Whether you produce more quantity, whether you produce less quantity, or whether you produce no quantity, the quantity of output has got no relation with the level of this cost. Hence, this cost is called as a fixed cost. So basically, summing up, sir, what is fixed cost? Fixed cost. First, it is that cost which changes with the level of output. Fixed cost is that cost which changes the level of output. That is, as output increase, just a second guys, just a second, which does not changes with the level of output. That is, as output increase or output decrease or output is kept as zero, fixed cost always remains same. That is, a rent rupees 10,000 is required to be paid by Mr. A to Mr. B every month. That is rupees 10. Whether you produce more, produce less, or you don't produce at all, the amount of rent cost is going to remain the same. It is called as fixed cost. Next. Let's move to the next one. The next one is something which is called as a variable cost. Sir, what is variable cost? Again, let's understand with this example. Suppose Mr. A is the producer. Mr. A is the producer. He produces, suppose Mr. A is our producer, just a second guys. Mr. A is a producer who produces basically, Mr. A is a producer who produces chair. For producing one chair, he require 10 kg of wood. Okay, got this. Next, for producing two chair, he requires 20 kg wood. Okay sir, got this. And if he wanted to purchase 10 chairs, how much input he will be requiring? That is 100 kg wood he will be requiring. And if he is producing zero chair, then 0 kg wood will be required. Sir, what does that mean? Does that wood we going to get it for free? No. This wood we definitely not going to get for free. So basically it is that cost. See, as the output is getting increased, the variable cost is also increasing. So basically the relation between variable cost and output is direct. As the output increases, variable cost also increases, and as the output decreases, variable cost also decreases, and when the output is zero, variable cost is also zero. Hence variable cost is that cost which changes with the level and quantity of output. As variable cost increase, as output increase, variable cost also increase, and as output decrease, variable cost also decrease, and when output is zero, variable cost is also zero. Variable cost increase with the increase in quantity of output, and as output decrease, variable cost also decrease, and when output is equal to zero, variable cost is also zero. Hence the relation between variable cost and that is level of output, that is output, is direct. Getting it? So by far we have completed two types of cost, that is called variable cost and fixed cost. So basically total cost is a combination of two costs, that is it is inclusive of two costs, that is fixed cost and variable cost. Guys, let's understand the curve pattern of this cost. We that is studied first, that is fixed cost. What happens in the case of fixed cost? As we understood in our given example, that is Mr. A got the property, that is piece of land, from Mr. B. He was ready to pay for that rupees 10,000. Now his production in the month of January was, that is zero quantity. In the month of February, his production stood to 30 cr quantity. In the production in the month of March, the production quantity was 30,000 quantity. Okay, but the rent in all these 3 months he was required to be paid was 10,000 only. Now guys, if we plot this on curve, how would the curve look like? Let's see. X-axis, y-axis, 0. Yeah. So now guys, here that is our fixed cost or cost, whatever we call it as such. Next, that is our output or quantity. Here, that is quantity was first in the month of Jan was a zero quantity. This is that zero quantity. Next, 30 crore quantity, or sorry, 30,000, and next would be 30 crore quantity as per our given example. Now guys, you tell me, when the output was zero, still the cost was rupees 10,000. When the output was basically, that is in the month of February, output was 30 crore, again the cost was 10,000. When the output in the month of March was 30,000, again the rent was of 10,000. So basically fixed cost always remains the same. So that way it will be a horizontal line and it will be parallel to x-axis. Hence total fixed cost curve is horizontal and which is parallel to x-axis. Hence is the shape of fixed cost curve. Moving ahead. The next cost which we did was our variable cost curve. So in the case of variable cost curve, we understood the concept of variable cost curve with the example of wood. So that is, if you are producing one chair, and for that chair you required 10 kg of wood. As the quantity of that is chair increase, that is output increase, 10 chair, he was requiring 100 kg of wood. Okay, and next, that is when he was producing zero chair, the quantity, when he was producing zero chair, the quantity of input was required was 0 kg. Hence, if we show in a graphical format, it would look like this. Yeah, chalo dekhte hain. Let's see. X-axis, y-axis. Okay, that is as the quantity of output increases, 1, 2, 3, 4, the cost will also raise up. That is from 10 kg, 20 kg, 30, 40, and so on. So it will be like this. As the output increase, variable cost also increase. Output again increased, variable cost again will be increased. So that way it will go. So on. So it is our variable cost curve. That is total variable cost curve. So that way. So concluding that variable cost increases with the quantity of output. That is quantity increase, variable cost increase. A variable cost will be decreased when quantity decreases. Variable cost shall be 0. See, it was 0 when quantity was also 0. Variable cost 0 when quantity is equal to also 0. So it has got direct relationship. VC has direct or proportional or positive relationship, with output. A positive relationship with output. I hope you guys have understood. I hope you guys have understood this. I hope you guys have understood this. Clear? Okay, moving ahead. Chalo, let's move to the next concept. So yeah, basically concluding that is we had understood that is what is fixed cost, what is variable cost, and it is inclusive of total cost. Okay, next, moving ahead. Now guys, let's study what is something called as a production. Guys, I know you guys have understood this. You guys already know something which is called production. So what is production? Production in simple language, sir. Production in common parlance, it is nothing but conversion of raw material into final product, or basically finished good. It is nothing but conversion of raw material into final product or finished goods with the help of, sir, technology. The technology is required for the purpose of production of goods or service. Example, I am producing service right now. So for that I require this tablet, I require this all setup for the purpose of the production of service. So any commodity you produce, you require raw materials, and with the help of technology you can convert your raw material into final product or finished goods. Okay, let's move ahead. Sir, in order to make any commodity you wanted to produce, or any product you wanted to produce, any product, you require 4 essential elements which are very requisite for the purpose of production of any commodity. Example, I want to produce this remote. Example, I wanted to produce the mobile phone. So I will definitely going to require these 4 factors of production. That is something which is called as a first one, that is land. Next, something called as a labor. Next one would be our capital. Next one would be entrepreneur. Sir, example, let's understand again with this example. Now guys, let's for example, I wanted to produce this marker. For the purpose of this marker, I would be requiring a manufacturing area or plant I would be requiring to set up. So what I'm trying to communicate to you all, that is I would be requiring a premises when I will prepare the setup, and accordingly the production shall be taken into. So basically there would be a land wherein the setup shall be made, machine shall be installed, and accordingly the people will work upon that place. Next, we require labor. Definitely we require labor for the purpose of preparing or actually participating in the production process. Next, we require amount of capital, that is money would be requiring, asset would be required. I would like to draw your attention over here, that is capital includes 2 types of capital, or both the types of capital. That is one something which is called as a physical capital, and also something which is called as a financial capital. Financial capital is nothing but money invested into the business is called as a financial capital. But also real assets are required. Real asset means machineries are being required, which will be installed on the land, or that is factory premises, and accordingly the production shall be taken into consideration. Mind you, capital includes both the type of capital, that is physical capital, at the same time financial capital. And last but not least, again, that is entrepreneur would be requisite, resulting he shall be the person who will direct the whole operation of production process. Hence entrepreneur is also an essential requirement in the production case. So basically concluding that, so factors of production are really very essential or really important for the purpose of production. So without production, without factors of production would seem impossible. Okay, moving ahead. So that way, when that is raw material, just a second guys, yeah, when there will be a raw material plus FOP inclusive technology will lead to finished goods or final product. That is what is something which is called as a factors of production. So it is conversion of raw material into final product with the help of technology, that is with the help of factors of productions too, which is inclusive of technology, that is our physical capital, machineries. Yeah, that way, moving ahead, good to go. Guys, who have coined the production concept? The production concept was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. It was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. So always understand that, always remember that the production concept was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. So he has given a major theories with regards to production. So that way. So please remember, it could be come in your examination in form of an MCQ. Who has coined the concept of production? The production concept was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. Moving ahead. Let's go forward. Let's go forward. Yeah. So the production concept was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. Moving ahead. Now, guys, in production there are various periods. Production period. So in production there are two periods. That is something which is called as a short run, and another one is called as long run. Short run and long run. Okay, let's start. What is short run? What is long run? Again, it is a matter of fact. What is short run? What is long run? Let us understand with the help of an example. Sir, what is short run and what is long run? Sir, short run क्या होता है and long run क्या होता है? We'll have to understand with a great example. Let's say, for example, I, Mr. RB, was in an opinion to start a coaching classes. Let's start a coaching classes. Okay, I decided to start a coaching classes, and now I have a team of 2 to 3 people. Example, Mr. RB, then Mr. X, Mr. Y, and Mr. C. We have 3 people on board, and including me, we are 4 people. We are proposing to start a coaching classes. Just an example. इस कथा के सारे ही पात्र काल्पनिक, इनका वास्तविकता से कोई संबंध नहीं है. ठीक है. So moving ahead. So basically what happened was, I wanted to start a coaching class of 1 to 10 standard, first standard to 10th standard. Okay, up to 10th class we are proposing to start a coaching class for all the boards, that is ICSE board, IG board, CBSE board, and also SSG, that is state board, Maharashtra board. Okay, so it was being conducted. So now it was being decided, let's begin with the coaching classes, and things are arranged accordingly. Now I had on my pocket savings worth rupees 1 CR. So I decided to start a coaching classes. One of my friend, that is Mr. C, who was also one of the teachers, who advised me, let's take a property, let's buy a property and to prepare our own coaching classes. It will be great. Let's not get excited. It would be a really stupid decision of purchasing a property and then starting the business. Why? Because we are not financially so much of upgraded. I have only 1 crore rupees. In that 1 crore, I have to arrange all the resources. The books shall be printed accordingly, bench shall be taken on to consultation, everything, teachers' fees, everything has to be arranged. So it would not be at the first day decision, or it would be a wise, no, it would not be a wise decision to purchase the property. Rather, we can take the property on rent and conduct our coaching business. Okay. Nextly, in the first year, we got the profit of rupees 8 lakh, which was quite good start. On which again Mr. C advised, sir, let's do one thing. Let's purchase a property. Idiot. Again, the Mr. C is actually acting according to its name. He advised me to take the property, but it is in the place called as Mumbai. You will not find the property in the 8 lakhs, or even if you find that property in for price rupees 8 lakhs, that property would not be worth enough of buying. Reason being, it would be really small for the purpose of conducting the business. Again, after 2 to 3 years, we shooted the profit of something which is called as a 1 CR. Again, he advised me, we have the profit of rupees 1 CR, let's buy the property. No, we can't buy the property still, because in 1 CR also we'll not get the amount of the property we want. Okay, so it was the case, and then it was decided, let's do one thing, we can take the properties on rent, and that was being done from day 1. Now he says to me that all my team, that is Mr. XYZ tells me, sir, let's hire more teachers. From last 3 years, we are the only teachers who are teaching we are working tirelessly. We shall all focus on something called as expansion and management. Let's give this work to somebody else, and let's not basically do all the work by ourselves. We'll teach, but we also require some teachers to be appointed. So I said then that can be done. I can appoint a number of laborers as you want, because the reason being, labor is cheap in the country called as developing, something called as India. The labor is cheap. Reason being, we are one of the most populated country. So I can hire teachers in order to increase the production, but I can't at the short run period. I am not in the position to take the capital investment, because we do not have that much of financial ability that way. In short run, the firm can't make more amount of investment into capital component. The reason being, the firm is not in the position to make more amount of capital investment, that is firm is not in a financial ability to buy more and more amount of property. And the reason is the firm's financial ability is not enough to buy the property, but it can definitely hire more and more amount of labor for the purpose of incrementing the production. I hope you guys have understood the concept. Okay, moving ahead. So short run is the production period in which one factor is fixed, that is capital, and another factor, that is variable factor, that is labor, can be changed. One factor is fixed and another factor can be changed. I just now made you understood that why the capital is being fixed. Sir, capital cannot be changed in short run. Reason being, it is not the firm's viability, or firm is not in the financial ability position to change its capital component. Reason being, its financial ability is not enough to that is make more and more amount of capital investments. But variable factor, that is labor, it can basically hire more and more amount of labor in order to increment its production. So short run, hence concluding, many people basically call short run as a period which is lasting up to 1 year. No, it is not like that such. It is basically a period which exists even for the period more than 1 year, but it is that kind, it is basically of such nature that short run is that production period in which one factor can be changed and other factors cannot be changed. And one factor which can be changed, that is labor, and other factor, that is capital, cannot be changed due to firm's financial inability. That way it is. Whereas long run, now I am writing it in the just aside to the name of JK Shah classes. The JK Shah classes is definitely operating into long run. They have surpassed the short runs and now entered into longer than period. What does that means? It means they have more and more amount of financial ability. They can purchase a capital. Yes, they wanted to purchase this property, add to cart. They wanted to purchase this property, add to cart. They can make any amount of capital investment at the same time. If they wanted to buy, if they wanted to basically hire labor, definitely the laborers can also be hired. The reason being, both the factors can be changed in long run, because the firm's financial ability reaches to a certain point that it can afford both the factors, that is labor as well as capital. I hope you guys have understood this. So in long run, that is both the factors. In long run, both the factors can be changed. Whereas in the case of short run, both the factors can't be changed. Yeah. In long run, one factor remains constant. In short run, basically one factor remains constant, that is capital. Another factor, that is labor, can be changed. But whereas in the case of long run, in the case of short run, one factor remains constant, that is capital, and labor can be changed. In the case of long run, both the factors can be changed, that is labor as well as capital. By far, we have completed something which is called as a production, its period, and to cost. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, moving forward. So that is a production concept was being coined by Professor Karl Marx. And in production, there are two periods, that is short run period, at the same time long run period. Short run is that production period in which one factor is constant and other factor can be changed. Whereas in the case of long run, both the factors can be changed. That way it would be. Yeah, moving forward. Let's move forward in the topic. Okay. Guys, now let's go to something which is called our market. Sir, what is market? Again, I would like to bring to your notice, market is an arrangement, or it is a place where buyer and seller meet for a specified purposes. Buyer buys the commodity to satisfy the want, whereas seller sells the commodity to earn or generate the profit. Again, I would like to repeat, market is the place, arrangement or premises where buyer and seller meet for the specified or specific purposes. Buyer buys the commodity to satisfy the want, whereas seller sells the commodity to, that is, earn or generate the profit. Okay. Sir, what happens in the case of market? In market, there are presence of certain entities. Please kindly pay attention, because whatever I'm speaking, it are all MCQs, and definitely you're going to get good marks if you pay attention to the throughout the video. I am definitely speaking some sort of MCQ itself. Okay, chalo. Let's understand once again. Sir, what is market? It is a premises or it is a place where buyer and seller meet for the specific purpose or specified purposes. Okay. In market, there are presence there is a presence of certain entities or participants. What are the essentials of market? A, in buyer, definitely in market there would be a seller, there would be buyer, there would be buying and selling of product or service, and there would be exchange of product and service for price. So these are essentials of market. In market, definitely there would be a seller, also there would be a prospective buyers. They would be buying and selling what? They would be buying and selling something which is called as product or service in exchange of price. I hope you guys have understood by far what are the essentials of market. In market, there exists buyer, there exists seller for buying and selling commodity or services or product or services in exchange of price. So these are the essentials of market. Now, market is being bifurcated. Market is being bifurcated on the basis of on various, that is no basis of geographical location. That is on the basis of geographic location, it would be that it would be local market, it would be national market, it would be international market. On the basis of location or area or jurisdiction, it would be a local market, then it could be a, that is national market, and then it could be a international market. Okay, next. And on the basis of time period, it could be a short period market, and then it could be a very short period market, and there would be a long period market. Yeah. And next, that is on the basis of competition. We'll basically on the basis of competition, there would be a perfect competition and there would be imperfect competition. Let's basically understand what I'm trying to say. So basically in market, what exists? There are certain essentials of market. What are the essentials of market? The essentials of the market includes as follows. Essentials includes as follows. Sir, there would be buyer. Definitely in market there would be buyer and seller. Without a single doubt, there would be buyer and sellers. Next, buying and selling what? Either, just a minute. In essentials, that is basically in market, there definitely would be a buyer and sellers. What buying and selling? They would be buying goods or services in exchange of what? In exchange of price. In exchange of price. Nextly. Now the market is being categorized on the basis of different aspects. Example, the market on the basis of area or location, we can call it as such. It could be local market, it could be national market, it could be international market. So what is local market? Example, any shop basically or any product and services basically you get it from your local areas. Example, that is a shopkeeper or that is general store shop which basically you see around your house, or basically a specific market in your locality. You just have that market only at your place, and that has got no, that is basically it operates only at the specific place or specific local area. The market which is being restricted up to a specific local limit. The markets which you see, the vegetable market or the fish market which you see only near your house, that is called as a local market. Or the shops which are located near to your locality is a local market. What is national market? National market which basically have its presence at the national level. Example, I would give an example of a national player, that is a DMart. Yeah, it is a national business player. Yeah, DMart basically having its operation at the national level. Okay. Yeah, basically national market can also be where the production of the goods and that is consumption of the goods, where the production of the goods and sale of the goods takes place only within the country. Okay, international market basically where the production is being taken place at one country and basically it is being sold to another country. International import export can be a good example of international market. Yeah, so that way it is. Okay, so market which is located near your local limit, that is called local market. National market is basically for the goods and services basically which are sold within the country, and international market which are produced in one country and sold in another country. That way it is market on the basis of area or location. It could be local market, national market and international market. Nextly, that is market on the basis of time period. Next is market on the basis of time period. On the basis of time period. I would be continuing this over here. Yeah, just a second. Market on the basis of time period, that would be our first short period, second very short, and third would be our long period market, that way. Next, third type of market, that is third categorization, market on the basis market on the basis of competition, market on the basis of competition, market on the basis of competition, that would be our perfect competition market, perfect, or it could be imperfect, 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 in basically perfect market, in perfect we have perfect competition, and in the next one we have monopoly market. Nextly, we have something called as a duopoly, carried on by two sellers into the market. Next, that is oligopoly, existence of few sellers into the market. And last but not least, that is monopolistic, many sellers or a fairly large number of sellers into the market. Monopolistic competition. Yeah. So these are basically market on the basis of competition. Here there was a market on the basis of area, market on the basis of time period, and market on the basis of competition. So now we going to start with very important topic, that is our perfect competition. Perfect competition. Guys, what is perfect competition? Primarily perfect competition, just a second. Red with different color. Let's take this one. Okay. Okay. What is perfect competition? Sir, primarily perfect competition, I would like to note some points with regard to it, that perfect competition is not a realistic concept. It is not at all realistic. It is imaginary. It is imaginary concept due to unrealistic assumptions. Due to unrealistic assumptions. See, perfect competition is not a realistic concept. It is hypothetical concept, or it is imaginary concept, because its assumptions are unrealistic or not realistic assumptions it is based on. So basically perfect competition is not a realistic market. It is imaginary due to unrealistic assumptions. That way it is being worked out. Okay. Moving ahead guys, moving ahead that way. Perfect competition, yeah, it is not realistic. It is imaginary, and due to unrealistic assumption it is being yeah. So basically that way it works. So perfect competition, why sir it is unrealistic, or why it is hypothetical, and why it is not being realistic concept? Due to its certain assumptions, due to its certain feature. Let's understand what it is. First feature of perfect competition is what? The first feature is, just a second. Yeah, its first feature says that large number of buyers and sellers. Sir, what is unrealistic in it? Are definitely realistic. This is the realistic. This is definitely realistic, but other features are not realistic. In any market you go, that is, there are definitely large number of buyers and large number of sellers. Example, let's take an example of mobile phone. In mobile phone, there are sellers a large number. There is Oppo, Vivo, iPhone. There are many sellers of basically mobile phones. At the same time, there are also number of buyers. Yeah. So in the case of mobile phones, there are large number of buyers also, and there are large number of sellers also. But again, buying that same product, homogeneous product. Homogeneous product refers to the products sold by the competitors are same in terms of what? That is their shape, size, quality, quantity, etc. If guys tell me the large number of buyers and sellers. Second, that is homogeneous product. They are guys buying and selling homogeneous product. Homogeneous products means the product which is same in respect of size, shape, quality, quantity, that way. If their product is same, the price should also be same. That is single price. If the product is same, the price is also same. Guys, tell me how the price is being determined. We have somewhere studied in 12th standard, that is in basically perfect competition. In perfect competition, seller is the in perfect competition seller is the price taker and buyer is the price maker. No, but it is not correct. That is, buyer is not exactly the price maker, or buyers are not the price. Buyer is not exactly the price maker, and seller is not the price taker. We have understood, or we have studied in 12th standard, that is, seller is the price taker and buyer is the price maker. But it is not the correct view. I will make you understand. Let's see. Guys, see, the price is always being determined by demand and supply forces. Example, let's assume a scenario. Mr. Ahmed. Let's say, for example, Mr. Ahmed is a producer of chair. He produced certain antique piece of chair. He produced some antique piece of chair. That is, the production made by him was 4 quantity. Hence, we will call it as supply was of 4 quantity. But 40 lakh people are demanding the same chair. I hope you guys have got this. He made an antique chair that was 4 quantity, and that was 4 quantity. The demand made for it was by 40 lakh people. So it was 4 quantity supply, and the demand made for it was 40 lakh. Hence, can you tell me, you are in the Ahmed's place, what you will be doing it? Who you going to sell this? So the answer is really simple. I will sell that 4 chairs to those 4 customers who are ready to pay me the highest price. So in the given case, if your supply is very less and if demand is very more, or it is very high, in that case your price would be high. I hope you guys have got this. There was not a single buyer who decided the price. There was not a single seller who made the price, because in case if there is a large number of buyers and large number of sellers, so in that case no single buyer can influence the market price and no single seller can influence the market price. If the number of buyers and sellers are large or abundance in quantity, in that case the prices shall be determined by demand and supply forces prevailing in the market. So basically, the price is being determined by the demand and supply factors or forces. So here the price was high, which was not being set by a customer, but which was by the set of customers or by the industry. It was being totally demanded by industry. It is basically industry who decides the price of the commodity. That way it would be. So here the price was being decided by demand and supply forces. Hence, collectively, the industry decides the price for a commodity in the case of perfect competition. Hence, existence of single price, but that price shall be determined by demand and supply forces. By far, we have studied 3 features, that is large number of buyers and sellers. That is, no single buyer can influence the price of the commodity. Hence, no single seller can also, because they both are in large in quantity. A single buyer not buying a commodity will not affect me as a seller. That way it would be. Next, buying and selling what? Homogeneous product. The product shall be homogeneous, same or identical or uniform in terms of size, shape, quality, quantity, etc. Next, that is if the product is same, hence the price shall also be same. That is, it would be a single price, and that single price shall be determined, on the basis of demand and supply forces. Okay, moving forward. Let's go. The next assumption made, the next feature of this market is that is for free entry and exit. Free entry and exit. What is free entry and exit? Let us understand. Okay, example, that is one of my student named as Dev. Example, one of my student named as Dev. He comes to me and says, sir, finally I got the result and the results are as expected, like last previous 4 attempts it is negative. Okay, so he decided, I basically suggested him, you do something, that is you leave the CMA. He said sir मैं CMA छोड़ रहा हूँ. ठीक है, just an example guys. Okay, so he comes to him saying sir again the results are negative. So I being his father, basically his father asked him to do some business. ठीक है, so he basically decided sir now I have decided I do not want to study now. Basically I wanted to study but basically it is not my cup of tea. I will start something called as a business. Like okay, go do, all the best, go ahead, good luck. So he decided to start a business, something which is called a sandwich business. In his locality he decided to start a sandwich business and the business was being conducted. He conducted the business on and on. After watching him, he started to make a profit, and that was a phenomenal profit he started to make, because in the locality there exists no sandwich person. It means that the commodity is kind, basically it is not a monopoly, but in his locality there was no, or there was really few or 1 or 2 persons who were selling. So he was the person who was selling the commodity. Now what happened was, he was earning the profit. Why did he start the sandwich business? Because he had the hope that he will earn the profit. But if example after watching Dev, there are certain friends of Dev who also entered the business because they saw Dev earning profit. It means that there is a free entry and exit. If you wanted to come to do business, you will definitely can enter into the market. If you do not wanted to continue the business, so you're finding very difficult to survive in the market, you can definitely take exit. So what does that mean? If there is a hope of profit, people will enter into the business market. And if they find there is a difficult of sustenance or there is difficulty to survive, they will exit from the business domain. Okay, so what does that mean? Free entry and exit. If you wanted to enter into the market, if there is a hope of profit, I will as a businessman will enter into the market. If there is a possibility of loss, I would exit from the market. I hope you have got it. So that is by guys, it was basically free enter and exit. So you will enter into market when there is hope of profit, and you will exit from the market when there is a possibility of loss. So that way it was being held. So their next assumption was free enter and exit. I hope you have understood all 4 properly. Okay, so first that is large number of buyers and sellers, next that is homogeneous product, single price, and next that is free entry and exit. Next one, again very important one, these 4 are realistic. That has got nothing to do with unrealisticness. The main unrealistic ones are right here. Let's see the next ones. Give me 2 seconds. Let's go. Chaliye, let's start. Yeah, chale ja bhai mere. Okay, let's start. The next assumptions or the next features of the perfect competitions are, that is which are unrealistic. That are the main culprit which is making the perfect competition unrealistic in nature. What are they? Let's understand. That is absence of transport cost. Any business venture you take, there could not be a possibility of elimination of transport cost at all. Your transport cost could not be zero. There might be some or the other or negligible amount of transport cost, but definitely transport cost would exist. You can't say that there is no existence of transport cost at all. No, it does not work like that. Transport cost always exists into the business. Let's say for example, you are a retailer. You are getting it from the, let's say for example I'm a producer. I am getting raw materials. So the moment I am getting the raw materials, it is definitely not going to come flying. I will have to arrange the resources, that is transport. I'll have to basically get the truck and tempos for the purpose of loading and unloading my that is, and transmitting my RM towards to my factory area. So it is what is something which is called as absence of transport cost. Hence that makes it unrealistic. This is the main culprit which is making it unrealistic. And one more, that is something called the laissez-faire policy, also known as no government intervention. No government intervention. You take any business, government is interfering directly or indirectly. Example in the form of taxes. आपको टैक्स पे करनी पड़ती है. Whenever you start the business, you are required to pay taxes. You are also required to abide by the rules and the regulations formulated by government. You are required to follow the rules and regulations of government. Again, government is interfering. But here it is being assumed there exists laissez-faire policy. What does that mean? There is no government intervention or no interference by the government. So it does not work like that. You are mandatorily required to observe the rules and regulations of the government while conducting the business. And also there is always an element of taxation which exists into the process. So that way it is. So having said that, this thing exists into the business that way. So this is the only thing, that is no government intervention and absence of transport costs. These are the two only assumptions that is making it unrealistic market. What? That is perfect competition is assumed to be unrealistic or hypothetical business due to absence of transport costs, and second, no government intervention. That is also called as in economical language laissez-faire policy. But in real life, in all the business, there is existence of transport cost and also there is government intervention. That is taxes. All the businessmen are required to pay taxes. Okay, if they are falling into the limit, but they are definitely required to conduct the lawful and legal business, which is a requisite. And if you do not conduct the business in legal manner, then your business would be constructed as constructed as unlawful, and hence you are required to close down your business domain. So that way it works like that. So these two are the only culprit assumptions. That is what is making perfect competition a unrealistic market. Okay, so basically let's recapitulate what we have studied by far. Perfect competition is a hypothetical concept. It is unrealistic concept. Reason being, it has two assumptions that is making it unrealistic. That is absence of transport cost or no transport cost. And nextly, that is no government intervention. That is laissez-faire policy. First feature of that was large number of buyer and seller, which is realistic. In every market you go, there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. Okay, and even if the number of sellers are not that is large, there are certain types of market where there are few sellers, that is oligopoly. Yeah, but generally there are large number of buyers and large number of sellers. Okay, next, that is something buying and selling homogeneous product. They are buying and selling similar products or substitutable products. Okay, if there is an existence of substitute, okay, so that would be again a competition to cut through and to compete with. Nextly, there are large number of buyer and seller buying and selling homogeneous product. The products sold by each seller are homogeneous or same or identical or uniform in terms of shape, size, quality, quantity. That way it is. And if a product is same, the price should also be same. More or less it should be same. And the price is not being fixed by buyer, but it is being fixed collectively by the industry forces. That is on the basis of demand and supply factors. That way it is going to be. I hope you guys have understood. So there is large number of buyers and sellers buying and selling homogeneous product. Next, that is existence of single price, and there is free entry and exit. Absence of transport cost and no government intervention. That way it was. Free entry and exit. When you will enter into the market, when there is a hope of profit, you will enter into the market, and there is a possibility of loss, you will exit from the market. That way it is. So these are the features of the perfect competition. That way it is, and hence done. Now starts the main thing, that is how curves are being plotted in the case of perfect competition. Let us understand first some more things, and then we can go. Then we can good to go. Chalo, let's initiate. Just a second, guys. Just a second. Okay, let's start, guys. Let's begin with the concept, that is अभी अपन देखेंगे curve concept. Let's understand the curve concept, that is what is profit, what is supernormal profit, what is shutdown point loss, what is normal profit, everything, normal loss, everything needs to be understood under perfect competition. Before starting to that concept, let's take a very short and simple example. With the help of that example, I will make you aware what is average revenue, what is average cost, what is average fixed cost, total cost. That way. Example. Let's start. Guys, I wanted to ask you all a simple question. In order to produce 10,000 quantity, in order to produce 10,000 quantity of units, 10,000 units of shoes, I require 1 lakh rupees cost. A cost of rupees 1 lakh is being incurred out of my pocket. So 1 lakh rupees went from my pocket when I wanted to prepare the total quantity of 10,000 units. So it is something called as a cost of producing all the units. When I'm producing all the units, that is 10,000 units, the amount of rupees or the amount of cost which is incurred out of my pocket was rupees 1 lakh. Okay, but the cost, so basically how much cost would be required to produce 1 unit of output. So 1 unit of output would be produced in something which is called as a rupees 10. Okay, how did you guys how sir you got this answer? Through jadoo? No, there is no jadoo, there is no magic. Okay, I'll tell you. It is basically total cost, that is this total cost, divided by total output, that is total quantity is this. So basically total cost was rupees 1 lakh divided by, that is total quantity is 10,000. I got the cost per unit. The cost of production of 1 unit was rupees 10. Okay, कुछ नहीं समझा. Okay, once again we'll basically begin. I'll tell you. See, what did I say, you all? I require for the purpose of production of total quantity, that is total quantity, that is for the purpose of production of total quantity, that is 10,000. I required the cost, whereas I could say total cost of rupees 1 lakh. In order to produce all quantity, the cost which is required to be given from my pocket was rupees 1 lakh. So सारी quantity को बनाने का जो खर्चा है, ठीक है, सारी quantities, that is all the quantity. In order to make that all the quantity, the cost which I've incurred from my pocket was, that is total cost was rupees 1 lakh. Can I say? I hope you remember this beginning lecture. Starting concept of the lecture. That is total cost is inclusive of two things. That is also fixed cost plus variable cost. What does that mean? It means, sir, in this 1 lakh rupees, there is inclusive of both. This 1 lakh rupees cost is inclusive of both the cost, that is fixed cost as well as variable cost. So what does that mean? It means, sir, this total cost of rupees 1 lakh is including of both, that is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. I hope you guys have understood this. It means that in this rupees 1 lakh which is being incurred, that is total cost which is incurred for the purpose of production of total quantity is inclusive of fixed cost component, at the same time variable cost component. I hope you guys have understood. Now the moment I say I've incurred rupees 1 lakh for production of total quantity of, that is 10,000. So this rupees 1 lakh is named as total cost, and which is already inclusive of total fixed cost component plus variable cost component. But the moment I say rupees 10 is being spent by me, or the rupees 10 is being incurred from my pocket for the purpose of preparation of 1 unit of output. In order to prepare 1 unit of output, 1 unit, in order to produce this 1 unit, or in order to produce this 1 unit, out of my pocket I have spent rupees 10. In order to produce this 1 unit, I have spent rupees 10. So the moment I say this 1 unit cost, or it is also called as an average cost or cost per unit, it is inclusive of both, that is fixed cost component, at the same time variable cost component. That way, this rupees 10 component, this is rupees 10, this rupees 10 cost which is being, this rupees 10 cost which I have incurred, rupees 10 cost which I have incurred for the purpose of preparation of this 1 unit, it is inclusive of both, that is fixed cost component, at the same time variable cost component. I hope you guys have understood. So the moment I say if I produce 10,000 quantity and I've incurred 10 lakhs, so that is what is something called as a total cost which is incurred for the purpose of production of total for production of total quantity. But one quantity, in order to produce one quantity, the cost which I have incurred shall be named as average cost or cost per unit, and that average cost is inclusive of both the component, that is thoda sa fixed cost and thoda sa variable cost. That way, so in that average cost there is also fixed cost component included, and also variable cost component which has been added into. So that way it is. So guys, the amount of money which have gone out of my pocket, or the amount of money which I have incurred out of my pocket for the purpose of preparation of 1 unit is called as an average cost. इसका मतलब ये होता है, हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो, that is if I want, अगर इसका मतलब ये होता है कि एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए जितना मेरी जेब से पैसा गया है, that is called average cost. That way, and it is inclusive of both, that is average fixed cost, that is per unit fixed cost, and that is average variable cost. That way it would be. Yeah, I hope you guys have got what I mean to tell you all. Okay, it's done. Next. What did I say, guys? In order to produce 1 unit, that is 1 unit, the amount of money which is went out of my pocket is average cost. The amount of money which I have to spend from my pocket is average cost. एक यूनिट को बनाने के लिए मेरी जेब से जितने पैसे बाहर गए हैं, that is called as an average cost. But after selling that 1 unit, After selling that 1 unit, the amount of money which has come into my pocket is called as an average revenue. Nahi samjha? Once again, the amount of money which I have spent from my pocket for the purpose of preparation of this 1 unit, it is called average cost. And after selling this 1 unit, the amount of money which I've got into my pocket, is called as an average revenue. After selling this 1 unit, the amount of money which have come into my pocket is called as an average revenue. Okay, so average revenue is also called as a revenue per unit. Revenue per unit. After selling 1 unit, the amount of money which has come into my pocket is called as an average revenue, and the cost which is incurred for production of 1 unit is called as a average cost. An average cost is inclusive of both, that is fixed cost component plus variable cost component. So after selling 1 unit, the amount of money or price I have received is average revenue, and for the purpose of production or for the production of 1 unit, the amount of money I have incurred is called average cost. I hope you guys have understood this concept. If you don't understood, then if you do not understand this, then it would be difficult for you to basically gain confidence in the further concepts. Okay, moving forward. Yeah, let's go. Guys, I'll basically prepare one table and you'll get understand. Quantity, average revenue, next total revenue, marginal revenue. We are operating into the perfect competition, wherein the price is single. When there is a single price, right? Okay, wherein there is a single price. Yeah, and when there is a single price and when there is a single price, and I wanted to like to bring to your notice that is if the price is single, so that is uska average revenue, that is price is example ₹100 for all the units. Let's understand. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 quantities. Guys, after selling 1 unit, first unit, it was 1 unit is of 100. After selling 1 unit, I've got into my pocket. After selling 1 unit, I got into my pocket was 100. After selling 2 units, I've got 200. After selling 3 units, I've got 300. After selling 4 units, I've got 400. Then 500, 600. That way. I hope you have got TR. TR is a total revenue. Total revenue is derived after selling all the units. If I sold first unit, I've got 100. 2 units, 200. 3 units, 300. 4 units, 400. 5 units, 500. But now what is AR? It is the revenue per unit. If I sold first unit, the very first unit, I've got 100 rupees. After selling 1 unit, I got 100. Second unit, not 2 units, it is the second unit. Second unit को जब दूसरे वाले को बेचा, दोनों ने ही बेचा. After selling that second unit, I again derive 100. After selling third, it is not 3 units. 3 units, and that is called TR. After selling the third unit, again I got 100. Fourth unit, again I got 100. Fifth unit, again I got 100. And so on. I hope you guys have understood. Now the next tough nut to crack is called as a marginal revenue. Now what is MR? MR is derived from selling additional unit. So when I sold first unit, I got 100 because the price was ₹100. But the moment when we sold the second unit, I'll tell you second unit, it is, see, when we sold first unit, it was 100. When we sold 2 units, it was 200. When we sold 1 unit, we fetched ₹100. But when we sold both the units, 2 units, we got 200. But due to selling of one additional, that is plus 1 unit, it was 1, then plus 1 unit. After selling that second unit, the additional revenue we derived was additional 100. I hope you guys have got this. Additional margin revenue is the additional revenue or additional revenue derived from the selling of additional commodity. From selling first unit, we got 100. Selling 2 units, we got 200. But due to selling of second one, how much more we got? It was 100. That way. Next, Selling 2 units, we got 200. Selling 3 units, we got 300. But due to selling of that third unit, how much additional I got? It is again 100. And so on. I hope you guys have understood this by far. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Let's move forward. Yeah, let's move forward. Now, if we wanted to present this graphically, how are we going to prepare? How are we going to prepare? Okay, let's see. Let's see. X-axis, Y-axis. Yeah, okay. Here it would be output or quantity. Here it would be a price. It is the revenue. ध्यान से देखिएगा, एकदम प्रॉपर तरीके से समझिएगा. Please understand properly. Please understand. See. Now, the quantity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. The price fixed is 100. If we see the price fixed is 100, let's mark AR first. So AR at all the level is 100. So the AR curve would be horizontal because it is 100 at all the levels. 100 at all the levels. I can also write AR is equal to MR because the price was single, hence the AR was 100 at all the level. Again MR, that is 100. So we can write AR is equal to MR. It was just plotting of the points. But if we have understood whether कंपनी को प्रॉफिट हुआ है कि लॉस हुआ है, अगर अपने को ये अंडरस्टैंड करना है, if we wanted to understand that perspective, we'll require to bring something into picture called as a marginal cost. Sir, marginal cost, why it is being used? It is being used for the purpose of finding out equilibrium. Equilibrium is that point where the profit maximization starts, or it is a point of profit maximization. इसका मतलब equilibrium point पे आपका additional revenue equal होता है आपके additional cost पे. Example, आपका additional cost 100 है. एक यूनिट को बनाने का कॉस्ट आपका समझो, ठीक है, एक यूनिट को आपने बनाया वो आपका दैट इज कॉस्ट था. एक और यूनिट को बनाया, तो एक और यूनिट को बनाया है आपने, वन मोर एडिशनल यूनिट अगर आपने बनाया, सो इन ऑर्डर टू प्रिपेयर दैट एडिशनल यूनिट यू रिक्वायर एडिशनल कॉस्ट. ठीक है, वन यूनिट आई मेड, दैट वाज माय पर यूनिट कॉस्ट, एंड आफ्टर दैट फर्स्ट सेकंड वन आल्सो आई मेड. पहले प्रोड्यूस करेंगे तो ही बेचेंगे. अभी फर्स्ट को बनाने में आपको खर्चा हुआ 100, सेकंड वन को बनाने के लिए आपको और 100 खर्चा हुआ, तो आपका जो एडिशनल कॉस्ट हुआ है वो आपका रिकवर भी होना चाहिए, इट इज एडिशनल रेवेन्यू से. सो दैट पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड एज अ प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन. फिर हम फाइंड करते हैं उसको हम लोग इक्विलिब्रियम पॉइंट बोलते हैं, जहां पे अपना नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस होता है. अगर दैट इज वी आर ऑपरेटिंग बियॉन्ड दैट, अगर अपन उसके ऊपर जाके और काम कर रहे हैं तो अपन लॉस में है, अगर अपन उसके नीचे काम करेंगे तो प्रॉफिट में. आपको बताएंगे कैसे होता है. ठीक है, पहले वी हैव टू मेक दैट इज मार्जिनल कॉस्ट. आई टेल यू हाउ द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट एक्चुअली इज बीइंग डिराइव्ड. इट इज एक्चुअली बीइंग लुक्स लाइक दिस वे. द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट का एक्चुअल जो शेप होता है वो ये होता है. दिस इज यू शेप्ड मार्जिनल कॉस्ट कर्व. इट इज कॉल्ड डेरिवेशन कर्व. दिस इज द वे द मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज बीइंग डिराइव्ड. MC curve. It is bowled shaped curve, or it is basically also called as a U-shaped curve. Okay, it is U-shaped curve wherein सुनो आपको समझो क्वांटिटी यहाँ पे 10 है, 20 है, then it is 30, then it is next it is 40, and next it is 50. Okay, and your cost is example that it was 100, then it was basic. Just a second. Yeah, we can take that also. 100. 90, 80, 70. Yeah, okay. Let us understand. Primarily, when you produce quantity 1, that is अपने जब output 1, that is अपने quantity बनाया, output 1, your cost was 100 rupee. Your quantity, when you produce 1, that is 10 quantity output, आपने 10 quantity output बनाया तब आपका cost था 100. It was your cost. Which cost? Marginal cost. MC. Your cost was 100, which was very high. Sir, why this happens? I'll tell you why. Example, when you are just starting your business, your cost would be high. Reason being, you are purchasing in less quantity. See, you are producing just 10 quantity. So the supplier would never give you the discount, or that is economies of large scale, or the benefit of operating in large scale you will never get. Example, let's say for example, a shoe producer. I went to purchase leather. I just want enough leather to produce only 10 quantity. If I just wanted to produce only 10 pair of shoes, I'm going to get that leather not on a wholesale rate. I'm definitely going to get it only on the retail rate. Reason being, I'm the small producer. So I'm not going to get the benefit of large scale. So the benefit of large scale will not be going to be fetched by me, because I'm operating just in the short run, or I've just started my business. I'm operating at very less level, or low level, or it is at small level. In that case, I'm just producing 10 quantity. So the cost per unit would be high, because investment would be high. So day one, your business cost would be definitely going to be high, because you're producing at the very low level, in that case, or very small level. Your suppliers would never give you something called as a heavy discount, as the large suppliers get, as the large producers or businessmen get. So day one, when the cost was 100, later I increased my production, my cost was decreased, because I started getting the benefit. Diseconomies of scale were end. After a point, again the cost start to increase. But now if the cost increase, again the cost is increasing, again it is a tension, but now it is worth it. अभी अगर आपका कॉस्ट बढ़ेगा तो चलेगा. सर क्यों चलेगा? The reason being, the cost increase would be चलेगा. Reason being, why? The reason is now your output is also increasing. Now your output is also increasing. See, the proportionate increasing output is also more. पहले कैसा था कि आपका कॉस्ट ही ज्यादा है, आपका क्वांटिटी ऑफ आउटपुट वाज वेरी लेस, बट ग्रेजुअली जब आपका आउटपुट बढ़ना शुरू हुआ, तब आपका थोड़ा थोड़ा कॉस्ट कम हुआ. रीजन बिंग, कॉस्ट क्यों कम हुआ? क्योंकि आपने लार्ज क्वांटिटी में परचेज करना शुरुआत कर दिया, एंड इन दैट केस आपको क्या हो गया, आपको बहुत बेनिफिट मिला कॉस्ट में. अभी आपका कॉस्ट फिर बढ़ रहा है, ठीक है बढ़ने दो, ठीक है कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, बढ़ने तो चलेगा. वाई सर? बढ़ने दो. इट इज अगेन अ थ्रेट मेकिंग सिचुएशन टू अस. इट इज इवन अ थ्रेटिंग सिचुएशन टू यू इफ द कॉस्ट राइजेस, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, बट नाउ योर आउटपुट इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीजिंग. अब बिजनेस भी ज्यादा हो रहा है, तो कॉस्ट बढ़ेगा तो चलता है. दैट वे, मतलब बेसिकली वैसे तो चलता नहीं है, बट इट इज मैनेजेबल. दैट वे, एज योर ऑपरेशंस इंक्रीज, योर कॉस्ट ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेस. दैट वे इट इज गोइंग टू बी. आई होप इट इज वेरी क्लियर. सो दैट वे इट इज कॉल्ड MC curve. So basically we derive MC curve, we compare MC with MR and AC with AR. So basically MC curve is being now plotted on this to decide, that is equilibrium point. When your additional cost is equivalent to additional revenue, it is called equilibrium point. It is called equilibrium point. See, we have to make, in order to mark equilibrium point, we have to basically make MC curve. It is the way MC curve is being prepared. It was being derived this way, but it can be prepared for better presentation this way. Okay, it is your MC curve. Now the moment your MR curve, that is marginal revenue curve, intersects, that is MC curve, that point is called as a point of equilibrium. It is called profit maximization point. It is called profit maximization point. This point is called as a profit maximization point. It is also called as a, it is called as an equilibrium point and profit maximization point. Yeah, it is equilibrium point. Guys, there are different ways of basically making it explain. That is, now people draw this line over here, they make it equilibrium, then they show curve. That is also correct. But in order to take the quick answer, I will make you understand it. Please kindly understand properly this diagram. I am going to take more amount of time in perfect competition. Once it is done, you would be very okay in terms of called as monopolistic one. So that way it is to be. Okay, let's initiate. Starting, that is MR is equal to MC. The moment MR cuts MC, now there are two conditions of equilibrium. A, that is MR is equal to MC or MC is equal to MR. Your first condition है. Second condition is MC cuts MR from below. MC cuts MR from below. MC is cutting MR from below. It is your AR and MR. Why AR and MR is equal? Because under that is a perfect competition. Price is single, so AR would be going to remain the same, and hence MR. So that way it is. So AR is equal to MR. Now what I'm going to tell you all, we mark the equilibrium condition. That was the main first condition, that you have to mark equilibrium. So that is MR is equal to MC and MC is cutting MR from below. That is, yeah, they will give an option. They will definitely give you an option in order to confuse you. Who is cutting? MR is cutting or MC is cutting? It is MC who is cutting MR from below. MC is cutting MR from below. MR is not cutting. MR is this only. It is MC who is cutting MR from below. Take it that way. So MC cuts MR from below, not MR cuts MC from below. That way. It is AR is equal to MR. And next that is MR is equal to MC. First condition for equilibrium is MR is equal to, here MR is equal to MC. Okay, and MC is cutting MR from below. Now you have to take the decision on the basis of cost, that is average cost per unit. Now let's see what is exactly it is. Example, my average cost. Example, my average cost. Always take the point. Acha, in order for better presentation, and for taking the answers very quickly, I take on the basis of MC. Remember, MC cuts everyone because it is MC. It cuts everyone. Yaad rakhna, MC cuts everyone. MC cuts everyone. Please remember, MC cuts everyone. Remember this, MC cuts everyone. Now I'm going to prepare one curve. Let's understand in that manner. This is my AC curve. It's called average cost curve. It is average cost curve. Sir, what is the average cost curve? Average cost curve is that curve. Average cost curve is that curve. It is a cost. मैंने एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए जितना मेरी जेब से पैसा गया, एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए जितना मेरी जेब से पैसा गया, is called as an average cost. एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए जितना मेरी जेब से पैसा गया is an average cost. और एक प्रोडक्ट को बेच के जितना मेरी जेब में पैसा है, it is my average revenue. So guys, जो मेरे जेब में पैसा है is this line, average revenue. It is just 100 rupees मेरे जेब में आया. And this is my, मैंने क्या बोला, MC सबकी काटता है. ठीक है, MC curve cuts everyone. We take for better easy way, I take this. No doubt कि लोग equilibrium लेते हैं, फिर accordingly that way. अपन इसको लेंगे, it would be not wrong. ठीक है, आपका आंसर सेम ही आएगा. Don't worry about it. अच्छा, so in that case guys, हुआ देखो क्या. MC cuts everyone. MC ने AC को भी कट किया. देखो उस पॉइंट में MC ने AC को कट किया. देखो ये वाला, ये पॉइंट. इसका मतलब सर, this is AC. This is the level of AC. मतलब AC नीचे है और अपना AR ऊपर है. मतलब जितना मेरी जेब में पैसा आ रहा है is 100 and जितना मेरी जेब से पैसा जा रहा है that is अपना 80. मतलब आपका एवरेज कॉस्ट का जो कर्व ना, ये वाला पॉइंट हमने कंसिडर किया. सो एवरेज कॉस्ट का ये पॉइंट दैट इज 80. हमारे जेब से जितना पैसा गया एंड एवरेज रेवेन्यू देखो 100, जितना जेब में हमारे पैसा आया. आई होप यू गाइस हैव गॉट दिस. AC मतलब जितना हमारे जेब से पैसा गया, हमारे जेब से पैसा गया सर 80. देखो ये लेवल है 80 एंड हमारे जेब में जितना पैसा है 100. So basically cost is 80 and revenue is more. It is called profit. And which profit? Super normal profit. That way it is. That way it is. ठीक है? Okay. See, the amount of money which I am getting into my pocket, the amount of money which is I am getting into my pocket is average revenue. This line. ठीक है? 100 rupees. I am getting 100 rupees into my pocket. But the amount of money, that is average cost curve, this curve. Revenue is above and cost is down. So this point we consider the amount of money I have expended is 80. So my average revenue is sir 100 and my average cost is 80. So it is called as when average revenue is more and average cost is less. It is called as a super normal profit. It is called as super normal profit, or it is called as a abnormal profit, or it is also called as a excess profit. Also called as excess profit. That way it is. I hope you guys have understood. So it was first scenario of that is apna super normal profit, abnormal profit or excess profit. Let us go to the next thing. Okay. Yeah. The next, that is again the next scenario under the perfect competition would be. Let's go to the next one. Again we'll draw the same thing. X-axis, Y-axis, 0. Output, price, that is revenue which the seller will receive, the price he will charge from the consumer. The price I charge as a seller customer will pay the price and I will receive as a seller the revenue. That way it would be. Yeah. See, because price is common, so single price. So AR is definitely going to be MR. Only in the case of perfect competition is our price P, that is 100. Yeah, price is equal to price, that is 100, that is AR is equal to MR. And nextly that is we going to mark, that is we definitely going to mark something which is called as a equilibrium point. So what is equilibrium point? We're going to mark something which is called as MC. You have to make MR is equal to MC, right? Our MC curve. This is our MC curve. See, this is our MC curve. So when MC is equal to MR, when MR is equal to MC, when MR is equal to MC, it is an equilibrium point. यहाँ पे that is MR is equal to MC. There are two conditions. Everything common for this equilibrium का two condition. First, that is MR is equal to MC, and who is cutting? MC is cutting MR from below. So it is MC cuts MR from below. MC cuts MR from below. That way it will be. Now the tough call to make, that is describe the behavior of our average cost. Now M with MR, MC with MR, AR with AC. Again now we'll compare. AC. Now AC that is average cost. Now AC that is average cost. Now guys tell me, well, again MC cuts everyone. We'll consider the point where MC has cut AC. So here the matter of fact is AR, the amount of money which went from my pocket, is 100, and AC, the amount of money which has came into my pocket, is exactly same. See, we consider AC का यही वाला point और AR का भी point ये है, तो both are common. So that way it is. When my average cost is equal to 100, also my average revenue, it is also 100. When both are common, it is called as a no profit no loss. But in economics we call it as a normal profit. It is called as a normal profit. It is called as a normal profit. See exactly. एक और बार देखिए. Please watch it once again. What did I do? Again. I feel you guys haven't understood. Again. See, it was common thing, that is AR is equal to MR. Because price is single, so एक बेचो तो भी 100 है, दो बेचो तो भी 100 है, and again MR was same. तीन बेचो, चार बेचो, पांच बेचो, 100 सबका प्राइस सेम, तो that is AR or same, also MR. ठीक है. Next there was a curve which is called as a MC curve. Why do we make MC curve? For the purpose of finding equilibrium point. It is our equilibrium point. It is also called as dash point, profit maximization point. So equilibrium का two conditions है, MR is equal to MC and MC cuts MR from below. MC is equal to MR or MR is equal to MC, one and the same. MR is equal to MC and MC cuts MR from below. Next, this equilibrium point is also called as a profit maximization point. Now the main decision maker is AC curve. Now the most important element is to finding out the AC curve. अभी AC curve को ढूंढना है. चलो AC curve का behavior को अपने को check करना है. Let's find out. So if your AC curve goes like this, oh sir, it is now tangent to AR. It means that the amount of money which came into my pocket was 100. See, AR 100. The amount of money which went from my pocket, that is AC. Amount of money went from my pocket, investment, that is AC, which is also 100 because tangent to this line. So now when AC is equal to 100 and AR is also 100, it is called as a no profit no loss. But in economics it is termed as normal profit. I hope you guys have got the concept well. Clear hai? Okay. So by far what we have did, let's recapitulate once. So under perfect competition we have solved equilibrium. So what is equilibrium? Equilibrium, there are two conditions. Condition one is MR is equal to MC. First condition is MR is equal to MC. First condition was MR is equal to MC. And second one was MC cuts. Again I repeat, do not fall into the trap. They might give you an exam option called as MR cuts MC. No, MC cuts MR. MC is cutting, because it's MC, it is cutting everyone. MC cuts MR. MC cuts MR from below. MC cuts MR from below. That way it is. Okay, next. And this equilibrium point is also called as a profit maximization point. that way it would be. Okay, so when your average revenue, that is your revenue is more, मतलब घर पे पैसा आ रहा है वो ज़्यादा है as compared to your cost, average revenue is more than your average cost, it is called as a super normal profit, or it is also called as a excess profit, or also it is called as a super normal profit, excess profit, or it is also called as a abnormal profit. When your average revenue is exactly equal to average cost, that it means basically जितना घर पे पैसा आया उतना ही जेब से पैसा गया, it is called as अपना normal profit. In real life it is no profit no loss, but it is considered in economics as normal profit, that way. Now we have to go to the next thing, that is called as a loss. That is the most difficult part of this thing. Okay, that's the most difficult part of this thing. Let us do that also and then let's move forward. Okay. Okay, chalo. Let's begin. Let's begin. Let's begin, guys. X-axis, Y-axis, 0. It is output this price. Okay, here your AR is exactly equal to MR. Your AR is equal to MR. Now you have to point out the equilibrium. Again, equilibrium not a big deal now. It is such a, your price is 100 at any quantity you purchase first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on. Now your MC curve. I hope you guys would be able to recognize the point called as equilibrium, where this is MC curve. When MR is exactly equal to MC, when MR is exactly equal to MC, it is called equilibrium point. It is called as the equilibrium point. When MR is exactly equal to MC, it is called equilibrium point. Now we have to recognize what is the loss point. See, the amount of money which is coming into your business is 100. Okay, and see, average cost. What is average cost? Sir, it is a cost per unit. एक यूनिट को बनाने का जो खर्चा मेरे जेब से गया इस एवरेज कॉस्ट. अभी मैं ये बोलूं क्या, वो एवरेज कॉस्ट एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी गया है और फिक्स कॉस्ट भी गया है, बराबर. एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए आपको वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी लगता है प्लस फिक्स कॉस्ट भी लगता है. सो इन दैट केस, इन एवरेज कॉस्ट यू रिक्वायर, इन एवरेज कॉस्ट, this average cost, that is in order to produce this one unit, it is the amount of money which is required. It's called average cost, and it is inclusive of both things, that is fixed component, at the same time variable component. Average cost, it is inclusive of both the things, that is variable cost at the same time fixed cost. So average cost, it is inclusive of average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Let's take an example. If you do not think or if you do not understand anything in life, let's hit to the basic thing, that is called वड़ा पाव. अपन मान के चलते हैं, अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं कि एक वड़ा पाव की कीमत, एक वड़ा पाव बनाने का जो खर्चा है, एक वड़ा पाव जो बनाने का खर्चा है गाइस, वो ₹120 है. एक वड़ा पाव बनता है 120 में. सर 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 अगर हमने वड़ा पाव बनाया 120 में और अगर हमने इसको सेल करा है ₹100 में, सो इट इज लॉस. यस, इट इज लॉस. मतलब बेसिकली हमारी जो कॉस्ट है वो यहां तक आ रही है. हमारा एसी हो गया, ठीक है, हमारा एसी हो गया, ठीक है. मतलब देखो हमारी लॉस देखो, हमने जो बनाया, ठीक है. इन दैट केस में बताओ जो बनाने का हमारा खर्चा है, एक सेकंड, आई विल मेक इट वेरी क्लियर नाउ. ओके, एक सेकंड. See, what I'm trying to tell you all guys, see, listen. What is exact scenario? Now this is my AC. AR is the amount of money which has come into my pocket. AR is the amount of money which has come into my pocket. What does that means? It means the amount of money, AR is the amount of money which I'm getting into my pocket. And AC is the amount of money which I'm paying from my pocket. ये मेरा खर्चा है, AC मतलब खर्चा. सर मतलब आपका खर्चा देखो ज़्यादा है, 120 रुपये आपके जेब से गया है, बट आपके जेब में कितना पैसा है, सिर्फ 100 रुपया है. हाँ, लॉस है, डेफिनेटली लॉस है, डेफिनेटली लॉस है. दैट इज इट इज लॉस, बेसिकली इट इज लॉस बिकॉज मेरा खर्चा ज्यादा है और मेरी दैट इज इनकम बहुत कम है, दैट इज रेवेन्यू इज वेरी लेस. सो अपने को आइडेंटिफाई करना है, वील हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई. सो इट हैज टू बी आइडेंटिफाइड. हमारे को आइडेंटिफाई क्या करना है सर, हमारे को आइडेंटिफाई ये करना है लॉस तो है, बट पता है बिजनेस में लॉस तो होता रहता है. एक होता है एक्सेप्टेबल लेवल लॉस, एक होता है नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल लॉस. तो अपन लॉस हो गया तो बिजनेस बंद करेंगे क्या, नहीं, इट डज नॉट वर्क्स लाइक दैट. अब लॉस हुआ है तो यू कैन कंटिन्यू द बिजनेस, बट वो लॉस एक्सेप्टेबल लेवल का होना चाहिए, बेरेबल लेवल का होना चाहिए. व्हाट डज दैट मीन सर, मतलब वो जो लॉस हुआ है क्या हम उसको, क्योंकि कंपनीज में लॉस होते रहता है इन बिजनेस. We keep on facing or we keep on coming across, we come across the situations called as loss. ठीक है, तो लॉस तो होते रहता है, बट जब अगर लॉस होगा, whenever you face something called as loss, अगर आपको जब लॉसेस होते हैं बिजनेस के अंदर, अगर आपको लॉस होता है बिजनेस के अंदर, तो आप बिजनेस को बंद करते क्या, नहीं. हम अगर बिजनेस में लॉस को अगर रिकवर कर सकते हैं तो वी कंटिन्यू द बिजनेस, बट इफ द लॉस इज नॉट रिकवरेबल देन वी शट डाउन द बिजनेस. सो दैट वे इट इज. अपन चेक करेंगे क्या बिजनेस को लॉस की वजह से शट डाउन करना पड़ेगा कि अपन अभी भी बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं, वो भी अपन फाइंड आउट करने वाले हैं. देखो आ जाओ. एग्जाम्पल इन अवर केस दैट इज वी प्रिपेयर्ड द वड़ा पाव. द प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट पर वड़ा पाव was ₹120. It is inclusive per वड़ा पाव per unit, that is AC. ठीक है, पर प्रोडक्शन दैट इज हमारे को अगर वड़ा पाव बनाने का तो एक वड़ा पाव बनाने का जो हमारा खर्चा है इट इज 120. ठीक है, सो नाउ दैट वड़ा पाव includes both the cost, that is fixed cost at the same time variable cost. तो फिक्स कॉस्ट दैट इज हमारे को रेंट वेंट भी लगता है. वी ऑल्सो हैव गॉट द प्रॉपर्टी जिनमें हम लोग दैट इज क्या करते हैं, हमारा प्रोडक्शन करते हैं, तो प्रोडक्शन में हमारे को रेंट भी लगता है. हम क्या करते हैं जब कॉस्ट बना एक वड़ा पाव बनाते हैं उसके कॉस्टिंग में हम दैट इज वेरिएबल कंपोनेंट तो ऐड करते हैं, एट द सेम टाइम हम लोग फिक्स कंपोनेंट भी ऐड करते हैं. सो इफ वी दैट इज ऑब्जर्व ओवर हियर, वड़ा पाव की कॉस्टिंग 120 है, बट एक्चुअल सिर्फ वड़ा पाव बनने का खर्चा एएफसी दैट इज क्या फिक्स कॉस्ट क्या है, वो तो रेंट कंपोनेंट है. जो हमने वो जो टोटल रेंट है उसको तोड़ के सब दैट इज वड़ा पाव में थोड़ा थोड़ा डाल दिया है, दैट इज हर एक वड़ा पाव में से कितना उसको रिकवर कर सकते हैं. सो अगर अपन बात करेंगे फिक्स कॉस्ट कितना है तो 40 रुपया, बट एबीसी समझते हैं, एबीसी वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, वो तो एक्चुअल पैसा है वड़ा पाव बनने का. इसका मतलब को दैट इज ग्राम फ्लोर लाया, that is a gram flour we got and we got that potatoes and we prepared that vada pav, all that pav was being got. but actual जो वड़ा पाव बनने का खर्चा ना, सिर्फ वड़ा पाव प्रोडक्ट बनने का खर्चा is variable cost, but हमारे को फिक्स कॉस्ट भी लगेगा, प्रीमाइसेस का रेंट वेंट, तो वो भी हमने पर यूनिट के अंदर ऐड करके रखा. सो इफ वी कंक्लूड दैट what I'm going to tell you all that average cost is inclusive of both the thing, that is fixed cost plus variable cost, but that is if I tell you all, but मैं अगर आपको बोलूं, अगर देखो आपको ना बिजनेस में लॉस है ना होते रहता है, ठीक है, बट आप लॉस हुआ तो आप बिजनेस बंद कर दो क्या, नहीं, बट एटलीस्ट आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर होना चाहिए. ये मतलब वो प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का खर्चा है. समझो अगर मैंने वड़ा पाव का शॉप ओपन किया है, ठीक है, तो उसका रेंट समझो रिकवर नहीं हो रहा है, ठीक है, रेंट रिकवर नहीं हो रहा है, लॉस होता है, शुरुआत में बिजनेस के अंदर लॉस होते हैं, ठीक है. इन दैट केस अगर रेंट रिकवर नहीं हो रहा, ठीक है, मैं देखता हूँ कैसे हम अरेंज कर पाएंगे, अगर बाद में प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी होगी तो हम लोग वैसे उसको पे ऑफ करेंगे, हम लोग कुछ ना कुछ रिसोर्स करके हम उसको पे ऑफ कर सकते हैं. बट एटलीस्ट जो मैं प्रोडक्ट बना रहा हूँ, अगर मैं प्रोडक्ट बन रहा है मेरा 20 रुपए में, तो 20 रुपए तो आना ही चाहिए. टोटल कॉस्ट 30 रुपए है, 10 रुपए रेंट का है, बट 20 रुपए अगर जो प्रोडक्ट बनाने का एक्चुअल खर्चा वो तो आना ही चाहिए. मतलब अगर मैं शर्ट बना रहा हूँ तो एटलीस्ट मेरे को वो क्लॉथ वॉथ का खर्चा जो मैंने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है वो तो आना चाहिए प्रोडक्ट के पीछे. सो वही हम लोग बात करें वड़ा पाव, दैट इज अगर एक वड़ा पाव पूरा बनने का कॉस्ट उसका 120 है, बट उसमें वेरिएबल कंपोनेंट जो कि एक्चुअल वड़ा पाव बनने का ही खर्चा है, मतलब वड़ा बनाने का खर्चा, पाव बनाने का खर्चा, दैट वे इट इज 80. सो एटलीस्ट दैट मस्ट बी रिकवर्ड, एंड इफ दैट इज नॉट रिकवरिंग देन यू आर फेसिंग abnormal लॉस. सो अपन चेक करेंगे, अच्छा हमारा दैट इज टोटल कॉस्ट कितना, मतलब बेसिकली एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का 120 है, एंड रिकवर कितना हो रहा है, ठीक है 100. तो हमने दैट इज 120 में बनाया और 100 में बेचा, सर लॉस है, हाँ पता है लॉस है, बट इज इट नॉर्मल लॉस और एबनॉर्मल लॉस, यू हैव टू फाइंड इट आउट. तो देखेंगे क्या मेरा ये वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर हो रहा है क्या. देखो हमारी प्राइस कितनी है, हमारी प्राइस है 100 है, बट ये 80 रुपया वो एक्चुअल वड़ा पाव बनाने का जो खर्चा, क्या ये रिकवर हो रहा है, डेफिनेटली यस. हमारे को 100 रुपया हमने प्राइस रखा है, तो उसमें 80 तो रिकवर हो गया, प्लस और 20 इसका भी रिकवर हो गया. सो कहने का मतलब क्या, योर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड. मतलब आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कहीं अगर अपन प्लॉट करेंगे तो यहाँ पे आएगा, क्योंकि 80 रुपया है ना, आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 80 यहाँ पे आएगा, सो आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर हो रहा है, योर एवीसी इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड. इन दैट केस मतलब इसके अंदर आप बिजनेस कंटिन्यू कर सकते हो. अगर ये भी रिकवर नहीं होता, अगर ये भी रिकवर नहीं होता तो आपको बिजनेस बंद करना पड़ता. इट इज डेफिनेटली लॉस, बट विच लॉस? इट इज नॉर्मल लॉस, एंड हेंस बिजनेस कैन बी कंटिन्यूड. Example, let's say for example, let's make the conclusion, that is your average cost, that is cost per unit was 120. After selling that unit you derived, आपको मिला कितना? Average revenue was 100. We sold that product for 100, and it is basically, hence it was loss. समझा? क्योंकि your that is it is loss. ठीक है, concluding it is loss, but find out करेंगे. Your average revenue is less than average. लॉस तो है, बट एबीसी रिकवर हो रहा है. यस, एबीसी इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, एबीसी इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, हेंस ये कौन सा लॉस है? इट इज नॉर्मल लॉस, एंड द बिजनेस कैन बी कंटिन्यूड बिकॉज एबीसी इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड. अगर एबीसी भी रिकवर नहीं होता, अगर एबीसी आपका रिकवर नहीं होता, हेंस इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ शट डाउन पॉइंट लॉस, जो अपन नेक्स्ट करेंगे. आई होप आपको जितना करा है वो क्लियर है. इज इट क्लियर गाइस? ओके, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड, लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. ओके ओके, लेट्स सी. X-axis, Y-axis, again the common things, that is AR is exactly equal to MR because we are in perfect competition. So AR is Y, AR is that is constant or horizontal and parallel to X-axis. It is the reason being the price is single in this market. Next it is output. It is marginal cost curve. When MR is exactly equal to MC, when MR is exactly equal to MC, it is equilibrium point. When MR is exactly equal to MC, it is equilibrium point. That is okay, so it is also called as a profit maximization point. पहले आपको equilibrium बनाना है, उसके बाद we'll find out. अभी अपन देखते हैं next कौन सा possibility है. Just a second. Yeah, let's draw once again. It is our MC. Next, AC. Sir, what is this? Let's tell you once again. See, it is our AR. That is AR और लाइन ऐसी है, मतलब जितना हमारे घर पे पैसा आ रहा है, हमारे घर पे जितना पैसा आ रहा है वो AR वाली लाइन है, ठीक है. और हमारे जेब से जितना पैसा जा रहा है, दैट इज अवर AC वाला लाइन. That is our average cost curve line. मतलब the amount of money which has gone out of my pocket is AC. This one. So again it is loss. It is again my loss. It is 120 which has went from my pocket. Again 120 which has been went from my pocket. It is my loss है. बट अभी हम चेक करेंगे क्या ये लॉस बेरेबल है कि नॉट बेरेबल है. सर कैसे पता चल लॉस? बिकॉज सी, एवरेज रेवेन्यू जो घर पे पैसा आता है, एवरेज रेवेन्यू 100 है, एवरेज कॉस्ट जो घर से पैसा जाता है AC 120 है. सो कंक्लूजन, AR is less than AC. It is loss. बट कौन सा लॉस? आ जाओ दिखा दूंगा. Let's find out which loss is this. Let's find out. Example, AC is inclusive of AFC plus AVC. AC that is average total cost. एक कॉस्ट को, एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का खर्चा, तो हर एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में दो कॉस्ट आता है. फिक्स कॉस्ट भी लगता है, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी इनकर होता ही है, ठीक है. सो फिक्स कॉस्ट एंड वेरिएबल कॉस्ट दोनों इनकर होता है. एंड फिक्स कॉस्ट, अब मेक श्योर करते हैं, एवरेज कॉस्ट एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का खर्चा 120 है, बट उसके अंदर उसका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट है 110 और फिक्स कॉस्ट है उसका 10 रुपीज. सो मुझे बताइए गाइस, मुझे बताइए एक्चुअल जो वड़ा पाव बनाने का जो खर्चा हमारे एग्जाम्पल के हिसाब से 110 है, हम बेच कितने में रहे? 100 में. तो मतलब जितने में वड़ा पाव बनता है ना, पूरा वड़ा पाव बन के रेडी हुआ 120 में, पूरा रेंट वेंट ऐड करके जो बनका पूरा वड़ा पाव 120 में बना, और 120 आना चाहिए था. बट चलो थोड़ा लॉस अपन बेयर कर सकते हैं. कौन सा लॉस बेयर कर सकते हैं? फिक्स कॉस्ट. चलो बाद में रिकवर कर लेंगे, बाद में देख लेंगे क्या करना है फिक्स कॉस्ट का. बट एटलीस्ट जितना जेब से गया उस वड़ा पाव को बनने के लिए उतना तो आना चाहिए. बट दैट वाज 110 एंड 110 भी नहीं आया बिकॉज वी सोल्ड द वड़ा पाव इन 100, तो हमारे को 110 नहीं आया. हेंस आपका वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर नहीं हुआ है. इफ योर वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज नॉट रिकवर्ड, इट इज कॉल्ड शट डाउन पॉइंट लॉस. मतलब आप क्या करते हो, 110 में वड़ा पाव बनाते हो और आप बेच रहे हो 100 में, तो आपका पहली बात तो 120 का कॉस्टिंग होता है, बट एक्चुअली सिर्फ वड़ा पाव का खर्चा, वो 10 रुपये रेंट का छोड़ो, सिर्फ वड़ा पाव का खर्चा है 110, तो आपको 110 भी नहीं आ रहा है तो बंद कर दो फिर बिजनेस, दैट वे इट इज ऐसा. तो दैट इज इट इज कॉल्ड शट डाउन पॉइंट लॉस बिकॉज ईवीसी नॉट रिकवर्ड. तो कौन सा लॉस है ये? शट डाउन पॉइंट लॉस, या फिर इसको अपन एब नॉर्मल लॉस भी बोलते हैं. दैट वे इट वॉज. इट वॉज द केस ऑफ परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन. इट वॉज द सिनेरियो ऑफ परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन. परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन में सारे सिनेरियोज एग्जिस्ट करते हैं. ओके, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड. लेट्स सी, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड नाउ, गोइंग फॉरवर्ड इन द थिंग दैट इज, लेट्स गो. अभी देखिएगा, फटाफट देखिएगा. हमने क्या देखा? फर्स्ट देखा दैट इज एन एवरेज रेवेन्यू. आपके घर में जितना पैसा आया वॉज 100 एंड एवरेज कॉस्ट, आपके जो जेब से पैसा गया वॉज 80. व्हेन योर एवरेज रेवेन्यू इज मोर देन एवरेज कॉस्ट, दैट इज 100, देन AC, इट इज कॉल्ड एज अपना प्रॉफिट. बट कौन सा प्रॉफिट वॉज? सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट. इट वॉज सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट, या फिर इसको अपन बोल सकते हैं एक्सेस प्रॉफिट, और इट इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज abnormal profit. Next, your average revenue was 100 and your average cost was also 100. मतलब your average revenue was exactly equal to average cost, that is both were 100. In that case it is no profit no loss, but it is called as a normal profit in economical language. Next scenario, third, when your average revenue was 100 and average cost was 120. So average, just a second guys, just a second. Your average revenue was less than average cost, hence it was loss. That is, average revenue was 100 but average cost was 120, hence it was loss. But if AVC recover हो गया, AVC was recovered, then which loss? Normal loss, acceptable loss बोलते हैं, normal loss which you can bear. Fourth scenario, just a second guys. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, if they go next last scenario, that is your average revenue is equal to 100. Again, average cost is also 120. Now your average revenue, I hope you guys are getting it, right? Your average revenue is less than average cost. That is, average revenue was 120 and average cost was just a second. Your average revenue was rupees 100 and average cost was 120. In that case, as your cost is more, again it is loss. But which loss? If AVC is not recovered, it is shut down point loss or abnormal loss. That way it is. ऐसा. So finally concluding, we have completed with अपना perfect competitions all, that is 4 scenarios. Now I would like to bring to your notice something which is main. This is the main thing जिसके लिए हमने पूरा रामायण किया. This is the main thing. अच्छा, I hope you have understood something which is called, there was the one feature that is free entry and free exit. Under perfect competition there is a free entry and free exit. Now if there is a free entry and free exit, ध्यान से समझना, ध्यान से, there are 2 production period, that is short run period and next one is called long run production period. Sir, what is short run? Short run is that production period in which one factor is fixed एंड अनदर फैक्टर कैन बी चेंज. ऐसा प्रोडक्शन पीरियड जिसके अंदर एक फैक्टर फिक्स होता है. कौन सा फैक्टर फिक्स होता है? कैपिटल फिक्स होता है. और कौन सा फैक्टर चेंज होता है? दैट इज द लेबर फैक्टर चेंज हो सकता है. एंड लॉन्ग रन इज दैट प्रोडक्शन पीरियड इन विच बोथ द फैक्टर दैट इज लेबर एज वेल एज कैपिटल बोथ कैन बी changed. So long run is that production period in which both the factors can be changed, whereas in the case of short run one factor is fixed, another factor can be changed. Okay, moving on. In short run what happened was acha, let's say for example you just started your business, you have just started your business and आपको business में क्या हो सकता है सर? प्रॉफिट हो सकता है. We can basically earn profit. Yeah, basically we can that is earn profit. हमको प्रॉफिट हो सकता है. We can earn normal profit also. We can also fetch abnormal profit. हमारे को abnormal profit भी हो सकता है. We can also suffer loss. अभी बिजनेस स्टार्ट किया, लॉस हो सकता है. कौन सा? नॉर्मल लॉस भी हो सकता है, एबनॉर्मल लॉस भी हो सकता है. दैट वे ऐसा. एंड नेक्स्ट लॉन्ग रन में अगेन वी कुड बेसिकली फेस लॉस. इट कुड बी एनी लॉस. नॉर्मल लॉस भी हो सकता है, बड़ी कंपनी भी डूबती है, नॉर्मल लॉस. एंड नेक्स्ट वुड बी अपना एबनॉर्मल लॉस. नाउ कम टू प्रॉफिट. आराम से समझना. शॉर्ट रन में आई गिव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ माय स्टूडेंट कॉल्ड एज देव who started his business of sandwich, and he was only the one of the few persons who have started the business in his locality for sandwich. So people found that bhai, this business has got many amount of profit, so this business has got potential of profit, and also people joined. Now there are not only, he is not the only one, or he is not among the few who have started sandwiches. There are many people who have entered into the market because they find there is a hope of profit into this product. हमारे को लग रहा है इस प्रोडक्ट में प्रॉफिट है, अपन भी जाते हैं. Now people have entered into the market because there is a free entry and exit. Now the customer has got splitted. अब सब कस्टमर स्प्लिट हो चुके हैं, ठीक है, बिकॉज शॉर्ट रन में देखा इसने बहुत प्रॉफिट कमा लिया, ठीक है. नाउ द पीपल हैव एंटर्ड इनटू द मार्केट और प्लेयर्स आ गए, द प्रॉफिट पूरा मार्केट में क्या हो चुका है? स्प्लिट हो चुका है. इन दैट केस नो सिंगल सेलर विल गेट सुपर नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट. इन लॉन्ग रन यू कैन अर्न only and only normal profit, because short run there were very few people who were operating and they were earning majority profit, but now there are cluttered, now there are large number of sellers who have entered into market because there was a profit and people find कि possibility of profit, let's enter into market. They entered into market. अब सब मार्केट में आके सारे कस्टमर्स जो पहले देव के पास आते थे अब वो सबके पास क्या हो चुके हैं? स्प्लिट हो चुके हैं. Hence there is only long run, in long run you can only normal profit. So only normal profit can be earned in long run. Short run you can make any profit, normal profit, abnormal profit, normal loss, abnormal loss, yeah. But in the case of long run you can earn only and only normal profit, and if loss होगा तो दोनों भी हो सकता है. That way it was. Please mark it very important और अच्छे से पढ़ें. That way it is. It was all for perfect competition. I hope you guys have understood this. ठीक है? Okay. Let's begin with the next concept. Okay guys. So let's move forward. That is by far we have completed something called as a perfect competition. Perfect competition proper तरीके से अपना हो चुका है. अभी perfect competition अगर आप लोग देखोगे, so that is अपन we have first studied what is perfect competition, its features, its all the scenarios, profit scenarios, loss making scenarios. What is the loss? There are two scenarios where one that is acceptable level loss and another one that is not acceptable level loss, in which basically you cannot continue your business. See, there is only one thing that would basically find difficult for you. You always have to look after something which is called average variable cost. If your average variable cost is getting recovered, continue the business. That is normal loss. In every business there is in every business you come across something which is called losses. So if the average variable cost is getting recovered, continue the business, and if the average variable cost is not getting recovered, or if it is not in a position to getting recovered, in that scenario, if AVC is not recovered, then you have to shut down your business. Okay, now we'll move to something which is called as a monopoly market. Next, that is monopoly. Second would be our monopoly market. The word mono is derived from Greek word and also poly. The word mono means single and poly means seller. The monopoly means single seller. He is the only seller who is controlling the total market and total market supply and price. So if there is only one seller in the market, there is no close substitute. Yes, there will be no close substitute for his product because he is the only person who is producing the commodity and selling it to the market. Single seller. Next, he creates entry barriers. There are entry restrictions. Monopolist always create barriers for the new entrants to enter into the market, because if there is an example, let's say for example I am the seller of shoes and I am the only person who sells the shoes in the country, in our India, there is no player which is matching to me, or basically there is no other player. In that case, basically it would be, I would be having a monopoly power and I would make an effort that nobody else would come into the market. In that case, I created entry barriers. I created entry barriers in the form that there is no, I'm not allowing another person to enter into the market. If no other person is basically coming into the market, what is happening? That is, I'm the only person who is controlling my shoes business. It's on and on, on and on, on and on. I'm not allowing. Basically, let's say for example, I am selling the shoes. Achha, I'll take a different example. Take a different example. Example, I sell milk. That is RB milk. I am selling milk. That is RB milk in the country. Okay, per liter, I am charging per liter. I am charging milk rupees 100. Per liter I am charging rupees 100, and per liter I am charging rupees 100. Nextly, there is one player, that is some let's say for example Kushal, who is also basically starting to compete me. Example, that is also, he is also basically trying to sell milk in the market. He is matching the price, that is he is also selling rupees 100 per liter. Okay, so now what happened is, now he has also entered into the market. Now it is not monopoly, now it is duopoly, because there are two sellers. So now I made an attempt. That let's basically create barriers for him. I reduced my price from 100 to rupees 10 per liter. Now see, I am the old player. I am the playing in the market, or basically I am doing the business from last 20 years. So I basically have that much amount of surplus. I have abundant amount of profit. But he is the new entrant. He cannot that is take this much amount of loss. So he will basically exit from the market, because I have reduced 90% of my price. So basically I have basically brought my price to rupees 10. In that case, he is not finding, because I am creating barriers for him to enter. So it is what is happening, that is old monopoly players, or basically a monopolist does not allow the persons to create in the market, because he create entry barriers for them. So there are entry barriers, there is no free entry and exit. Next, there is another feature which is most important, that is no distinction between firm and industry. There is no distinction between firm and industry. What does that mean? Let's say for example, if we take an example of that a company called as a tire companies. So there are many tire companies. There is MRF tire. There is another company called as Apollo tire. There is also a company called as a C8 tire. There is also a company which is called as a JK tire. Individually they are companies, but collectively they are tire industry. Individually they are individual companies, individual firms or companies, but collectively they are called as a tire industry. Nextly, in terms of food industry, if we take, that is, there is McDonald's. Second, there is something called as Domino's. Third, that is KFC, Subway. Individually they are individual companies or firms, but collectively they are a food industry. But in the case of monopoly, there is no difference between firm and industry. He is the only seller, and that only seller, he is the only seller. Example, that is, I am the milkman, or basically I have the milk company. In that case, I am the only person is having the milk company. Also there is only my company itself is an industry. So there is no distinction or no difference between a firm and industry. हम अकेले ही firm है and हम आपस में एक खुद क्या है industry भी है. If there are more number of players, then it will not be a monopoly, because in monopoly there is a requirement, that is a single seller. So basically single seller who has a complete control over market supply and market price, and there is no close substitute. He creates entry barriers. He does not allow other persons to enter into market by creating restrictions, operational barriers. Next, there is no distinction between firm and industry. I myself is a firm and I myself is an industry. Okay, moving ahead. It was basically some features of monopoly market. Now I would like to bring to your notice, monopolist 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 has monopolist has complete control, complete control over market supply and price. He has a complete control over market supply and price. That is, he can sell the commodities at a price which he wanted to sell. Okay. He can also do one of the main feature. I'll basically cover it later. Yeah. So monopolist has complete control over market supply and price. He can sell the commodity at the price he wanted to sell. At the same, because he's the monopolist, there is no substitute of its product. Either you have to purchase at the price which he is asking for you, asking from you, or you have to leave that product, or you have to stay without that product. Because he has got that monopoly power or supreme power, he can decide the price for his commodity by himself. So he has the complete control over the price, and also he can control the supply. He can produce the level of quantity which he desires to bring into the market, but he cannot control both of them simultaneously. I'll tell you how. Let's say for example, there was a producer of a milk. Example, there was a producer of a milk, and that producer increased the supply of milk. He basically asked his team to basically increase the supply of milk. Prepare as many milk packets as you can. So now the matter of fact is the supply was increased. At the same time, he increased or rose the price from rupees 100 per liter to rupees 500 per liter. Now guys, tell me, he has increased supply also and he has also increased price also. But now he will face difficulty. Sir, how? Definitely he is going to. Now you tell me, as price increase or as inflation occurs in the country, that does not mean our level of income as a consumer increase. There is only a rise in price. It does not mean our income is also increasing. In that case, अगर उस केस में हम क्या करेंगे मेरे को बताइएगा. अब मेरे को बताओ, that is 100 rupees का वो पैकेट था. It was 100 rupees packet of a milk. Now he asked his team कि भाई सप्लाई बढ़ा दो, अपना जितना सप्लाई उसका डबल कर दो, अपन ज्यादा क्वांटिटी बनाएंगे. He prepared more quantity. Asked his team to prepare more and more amount of quantity. Also he rose to the price. He increased the price from 100 to 500. भाई ने सप्लाई भी बढ़ा दिया और प्राइस भी बढ़ा दिया. अब देखो हुआ क्या, ये उसकी सबसे बड़ी गलती थी. अब मेरे को बताओ, कितना भी नेसेसिटी क्यों ना होने दो, हम उतना ही परचेस कर पाएंगे ना, या फिर हम जो हमारी परचेसिंग कैपेसिटी में आओ या फिर परचेसिंग पावर में आगो. ठीक है, इन दैट केस अगर हमारे पास इनकम ही नहीं है वो प्रॉपर्टी परचेस करने के लिए, फिर वो कमोडिटी परचेस करने के लिए, फिर तो परचेस कर ही नहीं सकते. इन द गिवन सिनेरियो जब प्राइस बढ़ जाएगा ना, हम लोग अगर नेसेसिटी है लेंगे बट कम क्वांटिटी लेंगे. इवन दो वी आर इन need of something which is called as a milk, will purchase milk but in less quantity. As the price rises, consumer tend to purchase less in quantity. I'll tell you how. See, when the price was rupees 100, it was the level of demand. When the price was being raised or when the price was being increased from 100, it was being made, just a second guys, from 100 it was being made to rupees 500. From 100 to it was being made rupees 500. 100 से जब प्राइस 500 हुआ तो डिमांड decreased till this level 5. सो कहने का मतलब क्या, भले मोनोपोलिस्ट क्यों ना होने दो भाई, तो कोई भी प्राइस चार्ज हम लेंगे, बट द मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट इज दे विल परचेस एज पर देयर परचेसिंग कैपेसिटी. सो हियर मोनोपोलिस्ट विल हैव टू मेक एन एफर्ट, आइदर इंक्रीज द ना. अब मेरे को बताओ, उसने सप्लाई भी बढ़ा दिया है और प्राइस भी बढ़ा दिया. अब उसका जो एक्सेस सप्लाई है वो तो खराब हो जाएगा. रीजन बीइंग पीपल डू नॉट हैव दैट मच अमाउंट ऑफ मनी टू स्पेंड ओनली ऑन मिल्क. बराबर 500 रुपया अगर डेली अपन 1 लीटर मिल्क के ऊपर स्पेंड करेंगे तो वो राशनलिटी अप्रोच होगा ही नहीं. पीपल विल स्टार्ट परचेसिंग लेस ऑफ द कमोडिटी देन दे यूज्ड टू परचेस अर्लियर. सो कहने का तात्पर्य ये है, मोनोपोलिस्ट का कंप्लीट कंट्रोल है, मार्केट सप्लाई के ऊपर भी है एंड दैट इज मार्केट प्राइस के ऊपर भी है, बट ही कैन नॉट कंट्रोल बोथ ऑफ देम साइमल्टेनियसली और एट अ टाइम. एंड इफ इट डज सो he will be into difficulties. But people as consumers or as we as a consumer purchase more at a less price and purchase less at a more price, and if the price increases, we can't demand more because we do not have that much amount of income to spend on a particular commodity or particular units of that commodity. So basically the that is it is our demand curve. It is our demand curve. It is our demand curve that way. So basically it is, I hope you guys know that law of demand. As price rises, quantity demanded would be less, and vice versa. Okay, guys. So it was our demand curve. So we studied that it was our demand curve as there is a rise in price, the quantity demanded would be less. We have basically understood this by far. So again, before starting monopoly, we again will basically look after that is what were the features. The first feature was there would be a single seller. He is the single person who has a complete control over the market demand, was the market, that is supply and price. Nextly, he creates entry barriers, or he creates restrictions of new persons to enter into the market by lower downing the price, or by lowering the price, or by reducing the price to a certain level that other players would find it difficult to survive. Next, that is first feature was single seller. First feature was single seller. The next feature that is we come across that he creates entry barriers. There are barriers to entry. He does not allow its competitors to come into the market, because if the competitors would come into the market, then his monopoly power would be vanished. Next, that is he has a complete control. Mind you guys, he has a complete control over market supply and price, market supply and price, but it would be a stupid decision to control both at the same time. So he has a complete control over the market supply and price, but he cannot control both of them at the simultaneous situation. And if it does that, he will have to face the difficulties all the way. Next, the next thing that is the most important feature of monopoly is price discrimination. What is price discrimination? Price discrimination is a concept where where a seller charge different price to different consumer for the same product. Example, a seller charges, that is a seller basically, this is a firar, this is basically something which is called as a malat. Yeah, take it as a Bandra, and next there's a church gate. The seller is a balloon seller. He sells the same commodity for rupees 15 over here, that is nitrogen gas balloon, and he sells in Bandra for rupees 30, and same in Churchgate for rupees 50. So what is happening over here? He is charging different price to different consumer for the same product. It is called as a price discrimination, which is being practiced by the monopolist. Okay. Next, there are different degrees of price discrimination which you're going to study nextly. Okay. Next. Acha. Now we're going to come forward for that is there was no distinction between firm and industry. As he is only the single player, he himself is the firm, and his firm itself is counted as a industry. There's no distinction. There's no distinction between firm and industry. There is no distinction between firm and industry. Okay. Next. There would be no difference between, or no distinction between firm and industry. Nextly, so next situation that is we're going to start with monopoly thing. That is its demand curve and everything. Yeah, it's basically all revenue concept. We're going to start with monopoly also. See guys, the average revenue curve in perfect competition was this, that is horizontal. Why it was horizontal? Because in perfect competition the price was how was the price? The price was something which is called as a constant, 100 rupees, single price tha, but यहाँ पे price will not be constant. यहाँ पे the price would be discriminated, because he will charge different price to different consumer for the same product, so price is not going to be same. So here the curve is not going to be horizontal. It is definitely going to be, somewhere different as compared, it will not going to be, it will be downward sloping. I'll tell you how. Because as I told you just a few moment ago, that is as you seller, अगर आप प्राइस बढ़ाएंगे तो कंज्यूमर डेफिनेटली परचेस तो करेंगे बट लेस क्वांटिटी परचेस करेंगे. मतलब मोनोपोलिस्ट हो आप, नो डाउट आप प्राइस बढ़ाएंगे, बढ़ाओ, बिंदास बढ़ाइए, देयर इज नो दिक्कत. बट फिर कस्टमर आपके पास से सेम क्वांटिटी परचेस नहीं करेंगे बिकॉज दे फाइंड इट एक्सपेंसिव. तो लोग परचेस तो डेफिनेटली करेंगे बट दे विल परचेस लेस क्वांटिटी फ्रॉम यू. सो एज द मोनोपोलिस्ट राइजेस द प्राइस, the quantity demand would decrease or it would be less. समझा? So monopolist does price discrimination, whereas the assumption in the case of perfect competition was single price. The only reason average revenue curve was horizontal and parallel to x-axis. But in the case of monopoly situation, monopolist conduct price discrimination. And if it does price discrimination, in that case the price for each consumer would be different. Hence AR would be different. Correct? ऐसा. That way. And mind you guys, AR curve is also called as a demand curve. Why? Because of its very shape. You will come to know soon. Chalo. I'll show you how does it goes. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay. Next, that is your price over here, and next there is output or quantity over here. So guys, it is our AR curve. So why this AR curve is this way being drawn? It is drawn being this way. Reason, yeah, as the producer increase the price from 10, 20, 30, so on to 100, his demand would be less. Quantity demanded would be less. Reason being, you would come across, that is आपका expensive हो भाई. भले कितना, मतलब इसलिए हमारे को जरूरत है आपके प्रोडक्ट, आपका मोनोपोली पावर हो, ठीक है चलेगा, बट अगर हमारे को नहीं परवड़ता तो हमारे को नहीं परवड़ता, सीधा बात. दैट वे इट इज ऐसा. सो इन दैट केस एंड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ AR, आई एम बेसिकली समिंग अप क्विक, आपको बता देता हूं. दैट इज AR के बेसिस पे हम लोग MR फाइंड आउट करते हैं. सो MR वुड बी इनसाइड, सो दिस वुड बी MR. सो दैट वे AR के बेसिस पे वी फाइंड आउट MR. सो दिस इज अवर MR का शेप. दैट वे मोनोपोलिस्टिक में भी एक्जैक्टली सेम होता है. मोनोपोलिस्टिक में जो अपन नेक्स्ट करेंगे, बट मोनोपोलिस्टिक में देयर आर हाई चांस ऑफ दैट योर MR गेटिंग नेगेटिव. आपका MR नेगेटिव होता है, आप लोग दैट इज लॉस मेकिंग में जा सकते हो मोनोपोलिस्टिक में, बिकॉज देयर इज एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ कॉम्पिटिटर्स. बट इट इज नॉट द केस इन द केस ऑफ मोनोपोली. मोनोपोली में कोई कॉम्पिटिटर नहीं है, तो AR हमेशा बाहर होगा और AR के बेसिस पे MR हमारा फाइंड आउट होता है, वो इसीलिए इसके अंदर होता है. ठीक है. नाउ हमारा AR MR बन गया. सर AR को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? AR को डिमांड को भी बोलते हैं, क्योंकि अगर आप लोग ध्यान से देखेंगे इट इज द सेम शेप ऑफ डिमांड को. रीजन मीन कैसे? नाउ एज द आउटपुट इंक्रीज होगा, मतलब बेसिकली एज द आपका प्राइस इंक्रीज होगा. प्राइस मतलब AR, अब कस्टमर प्राइस पे करेगा. अगर समझो आप कस्टमर हो, आप सेलर को प्राइस पे करेंगे, तो बेसिकली आपने प्राइस पे किया एज अ कंज्यूमर, बट फॉर सेलर वो क्या हो गया? वो तो रेवेन्यू हुआ ना. सो AR कर्व इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ डिमांड कर्व. जैसे हमारा प्राइस बढ़ेगा वैसे आप क्वांटिटी डिमांड क्या करेंगे? कम 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 करेंगे. देखो यहाँ पे जब सबसे ज्यादा प्राइस था, सो सबसे कम डिमांड था, देखो दिस इज सबसे कम डिमांड 100, दैट वे इट इज ऐसा. सो कहने का मतलब ये है. सो AR कर्व इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ डिमांड कर्व. आई एम बेसिकली giving you a very short and summary view. Behind everything there are reasons, but basically due to time constraint I am basically showing you the what is most important things from your exam perspective. आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. That way AR would be an outer perspective and MR would be inner. That way so AR के बेसिस पे ही MR बनते हैं, इसलिए MR को अपन अंदर बनाते हैं. That way. अच्छा, अभी विल प्रिपेयर इक्विलिब्रियम. अगेन सेम थिंग, इक्विलिब्रियम करना. दैट इज MR इक्वल टू MC होना चाहिए. इक्विलिब्रियम का दो कंडीशन फटाफट बोलना. इक्विलिब्रियम का दो कंडीशंस क्या है? एक MR इज इक्वल टू MC, यहां पे लिखता हूं मैं. इक्विलिब्रियम का दो कंडीशन, दैट इज अपना MR इज इक्वल टू MC एंड MC कट्स MR फ्रॉम बिलो. MR इज इक्वल टू MC एंड MC कट्स MR फ्रॉम बिलो. ओके, नेक्स्ट अगर अपन देखेंगे दैट वे, दैट इज या अभी ये देखिए, इट इज माई MC कर्व, इट इज माई MC कर्व. अगर अपन देखेंगे MC कर्व MR कर्व को कहां पे कट कर रहा है? इस पॉइंट पे कट कर रहा है. दिस इज द पॉइंट. यहां पे MC कर्व ने MR कर्व को कट किया. दिस पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड एज अ पॉइंट ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम. दिस पॉइंट इज कॉल्ड एज अ पॉइंट ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम. इट इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन पॉइंट. अभी अपने को फाइंड आउट करना है कि प्रॉफिट है कि लॉस है. अब अगर आप ध्यान से देखेंगे AR कर्व, दैट इज एवरेज रेवेन्यू कर्व. ठीक है, एवरेज रेवेन्यू मतलब बेसिकली वो ऐसा पॉइंट है जितना अपने जेब में पैसा आया. सो कितना अपने जेब में पैसा है? एग्जांपल, अपने जेब में पैसा आया इज ₹100. हमने प्रोडक्ट को बना करके जो बेचा, हमने जो प्रोडक्ट को बना करके बेचा, दैट इज हमने जो प्रोडक्ट बना करके बेचा है वो कितने में, 100 में बेचा है, ठीक है। वी हैव सोल्ड द प्रोडक्ट फॉर ₹100, तो हमने 100 में प्रोडक्ट को बेचा है, ठीक है। अब अपन फाइंड आउट करेंगे कॉस्ट, ठीक है। देखो एमसी ने एआर को यहाँ पे कट किया, तो हमने वो वाला ही पॉइंट लिया। एमसी कर्व सबको कट करता है, तो एमसी का पॉइंट अपन कंसिडरेशन लेते हैं। सो एआर दैट इज यहाँ पे लिया हमने, बिकॉज एआर दैट इज अपन ने 100 में प्रोडक्ट को बना करके बेचा है। अब नाउ व्हाट आई मीन टू टेल यू ऑल, व्हाट आई मीन टेल यू ऑल, अभी अब अपने को देखना क्या है, हमारे को देखना है कि कितना हमारे को कॉस्ट इनकर हुआ है। तो कॉस्ट ये तो एआर हमने 100 में प्रोडक्ट को बेचा, हमारे को बनाने में कितना खर्चा लगा था, देखते हैं। एग्जाम्पल समझिए अपना एसी कव है, सर ये क्या बना है, एसी कव है, आराम से समझना, आराम से एमसी का बिहेवियर ऑब्जर्व करना। ये देखो अगेन एमसी का वे है, उसने इधर इसको कट किया है, सो ये दिस विल बी टेकन इनटू कंसीडरेशन। देखो यहां से, सो ये प्रोडक्ट बना कितने में, सो प्रोडक्ट बना 80 में। देखो रेवेन्यू का ऊपर है, ये आपके रेवेन्यू कव है, ये आपका रेवेन्यू वाला कव है, ये रेवेन्यू कव है, बराबर। तो रेवेन्यू आपका ऊपर, दैट इज आपके जेब में जो पैसा आया, आपके जेब में जो पैसा आया वो है 100 रुपीज, और आपके जेब से जो पैसा गया दैट इज अपना एवरेज कॉस्ट का, दैट इज 80 रुपीज। आपके जेब में पैसा आया इज 100, आपके जेब से जो पैसा गया इज दैट इज 80, बराबर। आपके जेब में पैसा आया 100, आपके जेब से पैसा गया वो 80। सो इन दैट सिनारियो, इन दैट केस आपके जेब से जो पैसा गया है वो 80 है, ठीक है, और जेब में जो पैसा है वो 100, मतलब आपका एवरेज रेवेन्यू कितना है, 100 है, और आपका एवरेज कॉस्ट क्या है, दैट इज 80। तो आपको प्रॉफिट हुआ कि लॉस, अरे डेफिनेटली सर जेब में पैसा ज्यादा आया, दैट इज 100 रुपीज आया है, ठीक है। हमारी जेब में पैसा 100 रुपीज आया है, we have basically earned ₹100 and the amount of investment made from our pocket was ₹80. So here that is average revenue is greater than average cost. Your average revenue is more than your average cost, hence it is called as a supernormal profit, or it is called as a excess profit, or it is also called as a abnormal profit, that way it is. सो ये सिनेरियो अपन देखते हैं हमारे मोनोपोली के अंदर, दैट वे। मोनोपोली का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट फीचर है प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, ठीक है। सो जनरली इन द केस ऑफ मोनोपोली एंड एज कंपेयरिंग टू योर सिलेबस, आप में बताया गया है कि मोनोपोलिस्ट हमेशा दैट इज क्या अर्न करता है, प्रॉफिट अर्न करता है, सुपर नॉन प्रॉफिट होता है। क्यों, रीजन में इसका कोई कॉम्पिटिटर मार्केट में नहीं होता है, ठीक है। मूविंग फॉरवर्ड तो हमारा नेक्स्ट कंसेप्ट दैट इज मोनोपोलिस्टिक कॉम्पिटिशन। मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, चलो चलते हैं। द नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट इज monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition, it is again monopolistic competition. Up again, let's do the features. In monopolistic competition, basically the concept was being coined by Professor E.H. Chamberlain. ये चैम्बरलिन जी ने, दैट इज द प्रोफेसर चैम्बरलिन जी ने ये कंसेप्ट को कॉइन किया, ठीक है। नेक्स्टली द मोनोपोलिस्टिक कॉम्पिटिशन इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ टू मार्केट. It has some feature, it has basically some feature of perfect competition and some feature of monopoly market. दोनों के थोड़े थोड़े features बना करके it has a combination of two market, that is it has some feature of just a second, it has some feature of perfect competition and some feature of monopoly market. Just a second guys, just a second. Okay, it has some feature of perfect competition, some feature of monopoly market. इसके अंदर कुछ features monopoly market के भी है. It has some features of monopoly market as well. Okay, moving forward. Sir, what are the features of monopolistic competition? First feature of monopolistic competition was fairly large number of buyers and sellers. Fairly large number of buyers and sellers. There are large number of buyers and sellers. Okay, ठीक है. Considering this, if you observe in all the market, the number of buyers are large, but the number of sellers are getting differ. In all the markets, any market you take, the number of buyers are large, but generally the number of sellers are getting differ. In monopoly, the seller is single. ओके, इन परफेक्ट कॉम्पिटिशन लार्ज नंबर ऑफ सेलर्स है, यहाँ पे भी लार्ज नंबर ऑफ सेलर्स है. आगे अगर इफ यू काउंट इन डुओपोली देयर आर 2 sellers, इन ओलिगोपोली देयर आर few sellers, that way it is. In that is अपना मोनोपोलिस्टिक कॉम्पिटिशन in monopolistic competition there are large number of buyers and sellers. Okay, next buying and selling. Okay, what product? That is product differentiation. The one of the most important feature is products over here are not same, they are differentiated. Product differentiation exists over here. What is the meaning of product differentiation? What is the meaning of product differentiation? Product differentiation here refers to all the companies are selling same category product, but the product is somewhere down the line is being differentiated. Example, if we take the example of bathing soap, that is, there is a company which is called as there's soap which is called as Santoor soap. There's a Lux. There's called as Synthol, Dove, Pears. All are bathing soap. The category is same, but the product is differentiated in terms of its size, packaging, quantity, quality, design. So basically the category of the product remains the same, but they are being differentiated. And in order to make your product more lucrative, in order to spend more on its, that is packaging, in order to basically make your product that is coming across more, that is attractive or designful as compared to competitors, you incur additional cost. That cost is called as a selling cost. That cost is called a selling cost. So third feature is selling cost. In order to differentiate your product from the market competitors, you incur additional amount of cost. That is called as a selling cost. So selling cost is that cost which is incurred. Selling cost is that cost. Selling cost is that cost which has been incurred. Selling cost is that cost which has been incurred by the monopolistic competition sellers in order to make the product differentiated. Example, making advertisement. So preparing, that is buy one get one free offer. Making your packaging so lucrative, scratch and win concept. So कहने का तात्पर्य ये है, that is what I am telling you all. In order to come across your product really attractive or unique in terms of market competitor, you spend so much on your product. That spending in order to make your product differentiate from the market, that is called as a selling cost. Yeah. So product differentiation, and next that is selling cost. So first which are the large number of buyers and sellers, next was product differentiation, third was selling cost. Please remember this, it is a really important feature. And the last, it is not the last, but it is really important from my perspective, from my concepts, that is free entry and exit. Again, here nobody could create entry barriers. If there is free entry and free exit, if there is a hope of profit, you will enter into market. You find that this business is profitable, I will enter into that business. If you find the sustenance of the business is sustaining in this business is not worthy, it is really difficult to sustain, it is a really loss making business, you will exit from the market. If there is a hope of profit, entry. If there is a possibility of loss, you will exit from the market. So there is a free entry and free exit. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, let's start. Now guys, as I told you again, here the monopolist, AR curve is called as demand curve because it has the same shape as a demand curve. Because if the price increase, the demand would be less in quantity. So here there are competitors available. Here there is availability of competitors. So here our MR will be go to negative also. So remember that it is same as monopoly only. Here AR curve, and on the basis of AR we find MR. So here that is MR. But in the case of monopolistic, due to availability of competitors, our MR and revision in price, our MR could go negative as well. Here our price area, here is our output or quantity area, x-axis, y-axis. Now see again, we have plotted AR and MR. Now what happens is, now it is like, we'll draw our equilibrium. This is our MC curve. This is the MC curve. You got your equilibrium? Yes. Equilibrium ka two condition, MR is equal to MC, and MC cuts MR from below. MR is equal to MC and MC cuts MR from below. So where is the equilibrium point, sir? Here is the point of equilibrium, sir. Here is the point of equilibrium. See, this is the equilibrium point. This point is also called as point of profit maximization. This point is also called as a point of profit maximization. That way it is. It is called as a point of profit maximization. So this is equilibrium point. Now guys, see, it has been done. Now we prepare the cost which is called as an average cost. Okay, in order to find out whether it is profit or loss. अब ध्यान से देखना, MC का ही observe करना है, AR is that which we get into, that is pocket. The एक यूनिट को बेच के मेरे जेब में पैसा है इज अवर ए आर. सी ए आर को हम दैट इज फाइंड आउट, हमने ऑलरेडी फाइंड आउट कर रखा है. ए आर 100 रुपीज हमारे जेब में आया. नाउ लेट्स सी हाउ मच वी हैव स्पेंड इन ऑर्डर टू मेक द प्रोडक्ट. ओ शिट सर, कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा. डू नॉट वरी, लुक एट टू एमसी, जस्ट लुक एट टू एमसी. दैट डजंट, डोंट लुक एट टू योरसेल्फ. आई सेड लुक एट टू एमसी. ठीक है, सो इट इज एमसी. या इट इज एमसी. या सो आई विल ड्रॉ हियर. So it means the cost incurred is this level, the cost incurred is less, and the cost that is incurred is this, and the amount of money I'm getting is this point. So AR is this, AR this. हमको यहाँ पे इतना पैसा हमारे जेब में आ रहा है. ठीक है, it is our AR. See this is AR area, AR वाला एरिया. ठीक है, where MCs are cutting AR. तो इतना हमारे जेब में पैसा आ रहा है. And AC is that, ये देखो यहाँ पे इतना AC है, इसका मतलब इतना हमारे जेब से पैसा गया है. So guys, अगर if you observe, AC means cost, AR means revenue. So if you observe, that is our AC is 100 and our just a mistake, extremely sorry guys. Our AC, that is cost incurred, is 80 rupees and AR is rupees 100. जेब से जितना पैसा गया is 100 and AC is 80. ठीक है, the cost incurred from pocket is 80 and revenue we have got is rupees 100. So here if we see, that is average revenue is greater than average cost. इसका मतलब जितना हमारे जेब में पैसा है वो ज्यादा है as compared to cost. So it is called as a supernormal profit, or it is called as a abnormal profit, or it is also called as a excess profit. That way it is ऐसा, that way it is getting happen. So average revenue is greater than average cost. It is also called supernormal profit, abnormal profit, or excess profit. That way it is going to be. Okay, ऐसा it is going to exist like that. So ये होता है अपना supernormal profit. I hope you have got this. Yeah, okay. Let's move to the next one. If you have any doubt, any query, please post into the comment section and I will basically answering to it. Yeah, x-axis, y-axis again. So our MR could be negative in monopolistic. This is our MR, on the basis of which AR के basis पे MR बनता है. AR is the outer one. Again we'll draw our, that is equilibrium. Again equilibrium का दो condition हमेशा याद रखना. That is MR is equal to MC and MC cuts MR from below. MC cuts MR from below. So it is our MC. It is also called as a profit maximization point. Profit maximization point. This point, which point? This point. Equilibrium point. Now the whole game is on. Again, the whole game is on AR or AC. Let's see. अच्छा, let's mark how much the profit we have got. That is हम लोग कितने में पैसे, हमारे जेब में कितने पैसे आ रहे हैं. The amount of money which we are getting in our pocket, that is AR. हमारे यहाँ पे MC से हम मार्क कर रहे हैं, MC से. ठीक है, it is 100 rupees which we are getting into our pocket. Okay, the amount of money which is going out of my pocket, that is MC कितना है. अच्छा, एक सेकेंड, once again, आपने कुछ नहीं सुना, कुछ नहीं बोला. सुनो, AR that is 100. कैसे सर? यहाँ पे AR 100, हमारे जेब में कितना पैसा आया is 100. AR is 100, हमारे जेब में जितना पैसा आया. ठीक है, अब हम, हमारे जेब में पैसा आ गया, हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे हमारे जेब से पैसा कितना गया है. लेट्स फाइंड आउट. Now guys, the amount of money which I've got from my pocket is also 100. इसका मतलब जेब में पैसा 100 आया. The amount of money which I've got into my pocket, that is average revenue, is also 100, and the amount of average cost is also 100. When both are 100, it is called no profit, no loss point. So here it is something which is called, see, my average cost. See, my average revenue line is this. My average revenue line, ये line है मेरी यहाँ पे. It is 100, and जो हमारी जेब से पैसा गया है वो भी अपना 100 ही है. ठीक है. So when average revenue is equal to average cost, it is called no profit, no loss. But in economics, you call it as normal profit. That way it is. So average revenue is 100 equal to average cost is also 100. It is called normal profit situation. Clear है guys? पक्का समझा? I hope, am I clear? I hope guys, am I clear? Okay, moving ahead. Okay, चलो चलते हैं. So it was our normal profit situation that way. Here our average revenue is exactly equal to average cost. Next. Let's go to loss. Now pay attention very nicely. एकदम ध्यान से देखिएगा. Average revenue and margin revenue. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, done. Okay, let's go. Now guys, MR could be negative in monopolistic competition. Now you have to move forward. Now the main thing is marking of this one अपना equilibrium, and then our AC is the main thing. ध्यान से, please ध्यान से. But let's mark this MC. The moment you mark MC, you will get two things. First, equilibrium. So MR is equal to MC is this one. This is our MC curve, your equilibrium point curve. It is our equilibrium. Now we have to move forward. That is, this is our revenue, the amount of revenue, that is amount of money which I got into my pocket after selling this one unit is 100 rupiya. This is 100 rupees. Now let's check. सर प्रॉफिट है कि लॉस फाइंड आउट करना है. हाँ, तो जेब में पैसा कितना है? 100. तो जेब से पैसा कितना गया? हाँ, ढूंढता बताता हूँ. हाँ, पहले वो ढूंढ ले, फिर अपन कंपेयर करेंगे जेब में पैसा कितना आया और जेब से पैसा कितना गया. उसके बेसिस पे वी कैन फाइंड वेदर इट इज अ प्रॉफिट और वेदर इट इज लॉस. समझा? ओके, चलो चलते हैं. आ जाइए. लेट्स सी. नाउ गाइस, अगेन वन थिंग, एवरेज कॉस्ट. इसका मतलब क्या? एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने का खर्चा. तो एक प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए सर फिक्स कॉस्ट लगता है कि वेरिएबल कॉस्ट? अरे पागल, दोनों लगता है. बोथ आर रिक्वायर्ड. फिक्स कॉस्ट as well as variable cost, both are required. Fixed cost is also required and variable cost is also required. So we require fixed cost, that is average fixed cost भी लगेगा, plus अपने को average variable cost भी लगेगा. We require both the types of cost in order to produce a unit. मतलब बेसिकली अगर हमारे को मोबाइल बनाने का है, ठीक है, तो इसके अंदर अगर हमारे को फोन बनाने का है या फिर अगर हमारे को डस्टर बनाने का है, हमारे को अगर ये मार्कर बनाने का है, ठीक है, सो वी विल बी रिक्वायरिंग फिक्स कॉस्ट, दैट इज प्रॉपर्टी, तो उसका रेंट वेंट भी लगेगा. एट द सेम टाइम हमारे को विल ऑल्सो रिक्वायर लेबर कॉस्ट, दैट इज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट भी लगेगा. सो बोथ कॉस्ट आर बीइंग रिक्वायर्ड. रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट लगेगा. सो बोथ कॉस्ट आर बीइंग रिक्वायर्ड. फिक्स कॉस्ट ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड एंड वेरिएबल कॉस्ट ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्ड. नाउ गाइस, टेकिंग इनटू कंसीडरेशन, ओके सर एवरेज कॉस्ट वाज 120. शिट. Average cost was 120 and I sold the property for rupees 100. If I made for 120 and I sold for 100, it is B का loss. Yes. Loss हो गया business में, नहीं होना चाहिए था. But are we required to shut down the business? Wait a minute. Don't shut down instantly. Make sure, is that acceptable or it is not acceptable? If it is not acceptable, then shut down the business. Sir, what is acceptable? What is not acceptable? रुकना, अपन बताता यहाँ पे बैठे हैं. सुनो, let's start. In order to produce that is one product, we require total cost, that is average cost, which is inclusive of fixed cost और variable component दोनों चाहिए होता है. अभी fixed cost component है, example 40 rupees, ठीक है सर, and variable cost remainder, that is 80 rupees. So you sold the property for how many rupees? I sold the that is commodity of product for, I sold and I got rupees 100. Okay. एंड एक्चुअल वो वड़ा पाव बनाने का खर्चा, इफ यू रिमेंबर, एक्चुअल वड़ा पाव बनाने का खर्चा कितना है? टोटल खर्चा 120 और टोटल साइड में रखा. एक्चुअल वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कितना है? वेरिएबल कॉस्ट मतलब एक्चुअल जो वड़ा पाव के पीछे का खर्चा, वो रेंट कंपोनेंट ने डाला, पता चला, तो रेंट कंपोनेंट डाला है 40 रुपया, पता चला, पर एक्चुअल बनाने का खर्चा कितना है? 180. तो 100 में बेचा. वी दैट इज सोल्ड द प्रोडक्ट फॉर रुपीज 100, but we that is actually made that product for rupees 80. So is 80 getting recovered? See, that is loss. We are in loss, we know that. That is, we made the product for 120. We made the product for 120 and we are selling it for 100. So it is loss. That is, we have knowledge about it, that we are in a loss making situation, that we are absolutely facing the losses. But what I'm trying to convey you is that कि basically are we able to recover variable cost? Yes, we are able to recover variable cost because 100 rupees में हमने प्रोडक्ट को बेचा है, तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट रिकवर कर रहे हैं. एंड इफ द वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, डू नॉट शट डाउन द बिजनेस, कंटिन्यू द बिजनेस. तो हम बिजनेस को कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं. सो इन दैट केस, दैट इज वी कैन कंटिन्यू द बिजनेस. सी, दिस वाज आवर एवरेज कॉस्ट व्हिच वाज हायर. जेब में जो पैसा, जेब से जो पैसा गया है इस वॉज 120 एंड जो जेब में पैसा है वॉज 100, तो लॉस तो है, 20 का लॉस तो है, बट हम यहाँ पे बिजनेस बंद करेंगे क्या? नहीं, बिकॉज मेरा वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, सो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट गेटिंग रिकवर्ड इन दैट केस, दैट इज 100 रुपया है ना जेब में, तो वेरिएबल कॉस्ट तो 80 था, दैट वेट इज, सो इन दैट केस वी कैन कंटिन्यू आवर बिजनेस that way. So basically here average cost was 120, okay sir, average revenue was rupees 100, okay sir, done. Now your average cost is more than average revenue, in that case it is called as loss. But which loss? Is your average variable cost getting recovered? Yes sir, it is getting recovered, then it is a normal loss, it is normal loss bidu. Clear है क्या? Okay, चलो डार्लिंग आगे बढ़ेंगे. Next. X, excuse me, Y. Okay, let's go. Price. Demand. Price and demand. Okay, moving ahead. Okay, let's start. Marginal revenue and average revenue. That way it would be. Yeah, okay. Marginal cost curve. Okay, now we have got equilibrium. This point is equilibrium point. Now this is revenue point. It is rupees 100. We sold the product for rupees 100. We got into pocket was rupees 100. Okay, let's see cost क्या था. अभी the product was produced for rupees 120. Okay, and in order to produce one product we require both the cost, that is average fixed cost, at the same time variable component, both are being required. Now fixed component is something which is called as, let's for example 10, and variable component is 110. So now you tell me, in your pocket you are getting how many rupees? I am getting rupees 100 rupees, and you spend how much to produce a unit? I spent rupees 120. So basically I'm in loss, but actual for the purpose of producing that वड़ा पाव उसके लिए कितना पैसा गया था? It was actually 110. तो 110 आ रहा है क्या सर? 110 तो नहीं आ रहा, 100 आ रहा है, मतलब वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज नॉट गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, एंड इफ वेरिएबल कॉस्ट इज नॉट गेटिंग रिकवर्ड, इन दैट केस देखो यहाँ पे अपना एवरेज कॉस्ट था, या दिस ओवर 120, and if your this apna variable cost is not getting recovered, in that case shutdown point loss. What does that means? Your average revenue is how much? 100. Average cost is how much? That is 120. So your average revenue is less than average cost, so it is our loss. But is your variable cost getting recovered? नहीं, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट कितना है? 120, और घर पे आ ही रहा है 100, तो ये रिकवर नहीं हो रहा है. इन दैट केस इट वुड बी शट डाउन point loss, because it is not recover, or it is also called as abnormal loss. Hence our this thing, that is monopolistic competition, also done. Yeah, so this was the thing, shutdown point loss. Yeah, so we will have to go forward, and I'll have to basically bring to your notice some things, that is abhi same chase monopolistic competition ka bhi there is short run and another concept called as a long run. Short run and long run. Now, what is short run? What is long run again? Yeah, short run is that production period in which one factor, that is capital, is fixed, and another one, that is labor is can be changed. Labor can be changed. One factor fixed and one factor can be changed in short run. Long run, both labor as well as capital both can be changed. That way it is. Both can be changed. Okay. So moving forward. Okay. So moving forward down. In short run, what you can do? In short run, you can basically. In short run, you can basically आपको profit भी हो सकता है. You can earn both the profit. That is, you will get both profit. That is normal at the same time abnormal profit. Next, that is loss. You will get both loss. That is आपको अभी भी business start किया दोनों loss हो सकता है. That is normal loss and abnormal loss. Long run. In long run, in long run, you will get. In long run, you will get. अभी लॉन्ग रन में आपको लॉस हो सकता है तो डेफिनेटली लॉन्ग रन में बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज भी लॉस मेकिंग होती है. सो दैट इज यू विल बी गेटिंग इन नॉर्मल लॉस at the same time abnormal loss. Normal loss at the same time abnormal loss, and at the same time if you earn profit, so it will be only and only normal profit. Sir, why normal profit only? The reason behind that normal profit only is now you tell me guys, there is a free entry and exit. Due to that is firms saw, that is the people in the market saw that the in short run there are some firms earning profit, they are earning good profit, they are earning supernormal profit, so due to which there was a free entry, there was a hope of profit. I entered into market. और लोग आए पहले 2-3 प्लेयर्स ही काम कर रहे थे, अब और लोग मार्केट में आए. अब जब मार्केट में बहुत से लोग हैं, किसी को भी सुपर नॉन प्रॉफिट नहीं मिलेगा. द प्रॉफिट विल स्प्लिटेड इनटू द मार्केट. इन दैट केस एवरी फर्म इन द लॉन्ग रन अर्न्स नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट ओनली. दैट वे इट इज. आपको लॉन्ग रन में सिर्फ और सिर्फ नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट हो सकता है व्हेन देयर इज अ फ्री एंट्री एंड एग्जिट. बिकॉज इफ देयर इज अ फ्री एंट्री एंड एग्जिट, इफ देयर इज अ होप ऑफ प्रॉफिट, आई विल एंटर, डेफिनेटली एंटर इनटू द मार्केट. एंड देयर आर मोर प्लेयर्स, नो पर्सन इज गोइंग टू हैव अ सुपीरियर प्लेस, everybody is going definitely going to have a normal profit scenario only. Hence it was that part of that is अपना market. In this case अपना market वाला that is ये major चीज complete हो चुका है. We're going to go oligopoly का features and that we're going to move forward in the topic. Yeah, I hope you guys have understood. Okay, let's move forward. Now we're going to understand what is oligopoly. Let's understand what is oligopoly and also guys study its features. Okay, let's begin. Oligopoly. The terminology oligopoly has been derived from a Greek word which says that the word oligo means few and poly means seller. Collectively it means few seller. The word oligo has been derived from Greek word that is oligo means few and poly means seller. Oligopoly means few sellers. Nextly, that is there exists interdependence among the firms. I'll tell you how does it works. What is the concept of oligopoly? Sir, there are few sellers in the market which regulates the total market, which fixes the price, which controls the supply. They have complete hold over the market supply and price. So what do I mean to tell you all? That is, there are the few sellers who are basically existent into the market and they have the complete hold over the market situations or scenarios. Example, in terms of we talk about tire industry, we recently talk about tire industry. So the tire industry is cumulative of the companies called as A, that is MRF Tire, one of the gigantic companies. Next, that is JK Tire. Next, that is Seat Tire. Next, that is Apollo Tires. And next, that is something which is Apollo Tires. And next, that is Hero Tires. So there are various companies. Cumulatively forming into an industry. So these are the few companies. Basically, there are few companies in the case of oligopoly market. These are the few companies in the case of oligopoly market having the complete control over the market supply and market price. So this is the scenario. So guys, what I'm going to tell you all. Now, guys, these are the few players who dominate the market and having the dominant position into the market. Now, what happens? Guys, there exists interdependence, but interdependence in terms of what, sir? Interdependence in terms of price fixation. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. Example. They all that is MRF, JK Tire, Hero, C8, Apollo. They all are example selling. They all are selling tires, right? Now, the price example they are selling truck tire. So one tire cost or once tire they sell into the market for price what rupees? MRF sells it for rupees 15,000. Next JK sells it for 15,000. It sells for 15,200. 15,000 roughly. Again 15,000. Let's take everyone 15,000. Okay. It is a fair price they have been fixed. Now what happened was after some time MRF made revision. MRF made revision in its price. What did it do? It rose its price. Basically, it increased its price, that is 16,000. It made its price to 16,000. JK also thought, let's increase the price. It also increased to the price that is let's say for example 15,900. It increased to price 15,500. It made it to 16,000 again, and that is Apollo said, I will remain the constant. I do not want to change. So it was like basically see, if there is an increment in price, other firms, if there is an increment in if MRF increases price, other firms that is JK, Hero, C8, Apollo may or may not increase their price. If one increase, they might also increase or they might not also increase. But if there is a reduction in price, see, as in the case of price increment, Apollo did not change its price. Apollo never changes price. It remained same. So basically, when there is an increment in price, you may or you may not, that is increase your price. But, if there is a decrease in price, if you decrease your price or if you low down your price, other firms would definitely also decrease their price. So basically, it brought its price to 12,000. So JK also brought its price to 12,000, also brought it to 13,000. Now the matter of fact is why it was happened. It was happened because there are many firms in the market. There are few firms in the market, and we are correctly forming into oligopoly. So what is happening? If I do not increase, one of the firm has decreased the price. All were keeping 15,000, and one firm, I was also keeping 15,000. One firm decreased to 10,000. Now, if I keep on 15 only, and others have followed the trend of 10,000, I would come across expensive in comparison to other firms. In that scenario, my demand or my sales would fall off. I hope you guys getting it what I'm speaking. Example, we all are in the same market. We all are selling the same commodity. More or less the product and quality and category is same. Whatever. So it was happening. So what was the case? Everybody was charging the same price. That was 15,000, each one of them charging the same price. Now what happened was, it was happened that the price was decreased. By one company the price was decreased. From 15,000 it brought to 10,000. Now others also followed the trend. Now I haven't followed the trend. I kept it to 15,000. In that scenario, I might suffer the loss because my product would come across expensive as compared to other products. So what happens is, what the scenario over here is, that is your price fixation for your commodity does not depend upon your own factor. It also depends upon other factors called as other firms. If they increase price, you may also increase or you may not also increase. But if they decrease, you definitely have to decrease. So your choice of increasing price or reducing price is not independent. It is interdependent on other firms as well. I hope it is clear. So it is called as in oligopoly there exists interdependency and there is no independency. I cannot fix the price of the product which I want. I will have to live with the trend that way. They increase, I may or may not increase, but if they decrease, I will have to decrease. Otherwise, I would come across expensive in terms of other, that is companies. That way it will be. Yeah. Okay. Moving forward. So it is called interdependence. So there are few sellers who that is dominate the total market and supply, including price. Next, there is interdependency. Yeah. Having said that, the price fixation is not dependent upon a sole firm. It is backed by various other factors. That is, other firms' trend is also being followed. But there is a price rigidity also. The firms do not, that is, invariably change the prices so frequently. There exist chances that they might, change the price, or they might increase or they might decrease the price of the commodity. But having said that, there exists price rigidity. The revision in price is not frequent. That way it is. So there exists price rigidity. Next, the next concept is uncertainty. Uncertainty. What is the meaning of uncertainty? They may also join hands with each other. That is MRF, JK, Hero, C8. They agreed, let's form a cartel. What is the meaning of cartel? Let's come together and let's fix a highest price and let's all fix the same price. So what it is called cartelization. They are joining hands with each other. That is, let's that is destroy customer market. Let's destroy the customers. What we should not compete with each other. You fix you will fix 100. Let's put it down. You will fix 14,000. I'll fix 12,000. So my demand would go up. As you are expensive, your demand would go down. Let's do one thing. Let's come to an amicable settlement. Let's all come to a common conclusion and raise the price, and let's all keep the constant price. Definitely everybody has to come to buy. That is called as tire. सबको टायर तो परचेस करना पड़ेगा. हमारे पास से ले, आपके पास से ले, सबका that is जिसका भी सेल होगा अच्छा खासा सेल होगा. सब लोग प्राइस that is एक सेम रखते हैं. That is called cartelization. So they might basically that is basically join hands with each other. They might join hands with each other, or they might also compete. Let's see, fair competition भी कर सकते हैं. तू जितना रखना रख, मैं अपना जितना रखना है वो रख सकता हूँ. So that way it is. So they might also come together, join hands, or they might also compete against each other. So that is what is something called as an uncertainty. You never know what they are up to. They might also come together and conduct the business, and they might also fight against each other. That way it is going to be. It is called uncertainty. That way it is. So there are four features of oligopoly. First, few sellers. Second, interdependence. Third, price rigidity. Fourth, that is uncertainty. That way it is. Yeah. So these are the features of oligopoly. By far we have completed all the four markets. So moving ahead. Yep. Okay. Let's go forward. Okay. So let's move forward. Let's go into the notes. Yeah, we have completed market. That is the major chunk which gets you the more and more amount of marks. So that has been done. So 1 second. Yeah. So this was being done. So we'll now run to pricing in the products and various services forms. So I'll complete this also. Types of pricing. Next, it is being done equilibrium conditions. That way it's all being done till here. Now price discrimination will be done right now. Then we'll move forward to money and banking concepts. Yeah. Okay. Let's move forward. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's start pricing concepts. So what is pricing? What are the different forms of pricing? Let's do that first. Okay. Chapter number 7, that is pricing. Okay. Now guys, there are various types of prices, examples and pricing strategies in the various forms of market. Okay. So there are various types of prices we are going to come across. That is first, that is cost plus pricing. What is cost plus pricing? A really easy example. Let's say for example, I produced a commodity for the cost of rupees. Example, I produce shoes. I produce the shoes for rupees something called as 100. Then I added that is a profit percentage of 20%. Now the price will be 120. It is called as a cost plus profit margin is equal to selling price. It is C plus P is equal to SP. That is cost plus profit is equal to selling price. So it is called cost plus pricing. That is we add percentage of profit to the cost to get the price. It is called cost plus pricing. That way it is. So cost plus pricing nothing but cost plus profit margin is equal to selling price. So cost is our 100 plus profit margin is 20% and selling price would be our 120. So it is cost plus pricing concept. Next, that is limit pricing. I'll tell you what is limit pricing. We have just now understood what is called as limit pricing. Once again, I'll tell you. So see, what is the meaning of limit pricing? See here, look at here. Example, I'll come to here first. Let's go to blank pages itself. Yeah. See, what is limit pricing? Sir, limit pricing is a technique. Primarily, who does it? It is being done by monopolist. It is being done by monopolist to curb or to restrict the entry of the new market players. Example, there is Mr. A and there is Mr. B. Mr. A sell milk rupees 100 per liter. From last 10 years, he is enjoying the monopoly power. Now, Mr. B has entered into the market. Now, Mr. B has also entered into the market. Now, it could not be called as a monopoly because now there are two players. It could be now called as a duopoly. So, Mr. B is also coming into the market. So, Mr. B now basically getting into the market. What is happening? Yeah. Basically, Mr. B, that is, he also started selling milk for rupees 100. So, Mr. A said, "Bhai, ये तो नहीं चलेगा. I'll have to eject him from the market. I'll have to eliminate him from the market. What can I do? I can lower down my price." So he that is decreased the price to rupees 10. He that is decreased the price rupees 10. Now what happened is the price was brought to rupees 10. Now he that is the actual cost of production, that is average cost of production for milk was rupees 20. But he got the price below cost of production. बेसिकली उसने क्या किया भाई, उसको भी खर्चा लगता है 20 रुपया वो दूध बनाने का, और बाद में दैट इज यूज्ड टू सेल फॉर 100, बट उसको बनाने का खर्चा 20 रुपया है. अब उसने कम कर दिया उसके नीचे, दैट इज ही मेड इट फॉर रुपीज 10. So the main reason behind it was to basically eliminate from the market, and hence we could not basically lower the price to such a level. Hence he limited the market. It is called limit pricing. See, let's come to this notes. See, limit pricing is the price set by monopolists to discourage economic entry into the market. The limit price is often lower than average cost. मतलब जितना आपको प्रोडक्ट को बनाने में खर्चा लगता है उससे कम उसने कॉस्ट कर दिया for the purpose you to make the entry of other persons not profitable. That way. Next is penetration pricing. What is penetration pricing? Penetration pricing is that pricing when new entrants, let's say for example I'm newcomer, I wanted to come into business. So what can I do? Basically, if I wanted to enter into business, I will at the starting step I'll keep the price very low, and then after some duration I will increase my prices. It is called penetration. Penetration price is starting price. When you are initiating your business, you are making an entry into the business for the first time. You are making an entry into the business domain. You keep your price low, and after that you start to increase your price. So setting the price low in order to attract the customers and gain market share. That way. And once the market share is gained, you raise the price. So that way. Starting May, you keep your price really less, and after once you get the market share, you start to increase your prices. Next, that is price discrimination. Now what is price discrimination? It is nothing but I give an example of that is balloon. Charging a different price to different consumer for the same product. It could be on the basis of classes, ages. Acha, age ke basis pe bhi there is a price discrimination. I'll tell you how. Example, for age ke basis there is something called as a ticket concessions. If you have age, on the basis of age you will basically going to get that is reservation. At the same time cost would be different. If that is agar aapka that is aap chote bacche ho, so that is will be a half ticket would be taken, and if basically you are elder, adult ticket will be taken. So basically age discrimination also exists. So price discrimination on the basis of age. That way. Classes, that is first class and second class or business class. So that is a discrimination on the basis of classes also. It is setting different price for the same product from different segment of customer. That way it is. Psychological price. See, psychological price is not basically fixing the price low. It is something, let's not write 200 rupees. They do not rise. Example, the product cost rupees 100 rupees. They don't write 200. They write instead 150, 199. That way. They wanted to sell the product for 250. No, they will not write 250. They will write 249. Ultimately, it is they are playing with psychology of the customer. Array, the product is less. The product is less in price. It is not actually less in price. The numbers are being formulated where it is not coming into the series of 200. It is coming into the series of hundreds. But it is ultimately 200 itself. That way. If I write 200, it are भाई 200 रुपए का है. But if I write 199, so it is basically the number one comes ahead. So it is in the notion in the people's mind that it is cheap. No, it is not cheap. They are just playing with your psychology. So that way, pricing designed to have a positive psychological impact. For example, selling a profit at 3.95, 3.99 rather than 4,000. That way, selling a profit means selling a product. Product आएगा यहाँ पे. There would be product. Yeah. Next, dynamic pricing. Now, what is dynamic pricing? Dynamic pricing is a technique which is being followed by the electronic item companies or the information technology concept-based company. Example, let's say for example, there is a company, a mobile company. Example, there is an iPhone, that is Apple Incorporation company. What happens in that case? Whenever it gets a new series into the market, its previous series gets cheaper. Example, there is a new innovation made by a company. So its previous innovation price would low down. Example, you purchase mobile phone today. Its price after 2 months going to remain the same or it is going to low down. Definitely is going to low down. That way it is. So flexible pricing, dynamic pricing is the pricing which keeps on changing. And it happens in the case of the companies which are technology based and internet based companies. That way it is. Yeah. Price leadership. See, price leadership is a type of the pricing technique which is being mostly followed in the case of oligopolistic market. In oligopolistic market, price leadership technique is being followed. What happens in that case? In oligopoly market, there are few sellers, but out of that few sellers, one is a leader, and what trend he sets, other follows the same. So if he raise the price, other might also raise the price. If he lowers down the price, others also low down the price. So it is called price leadership. One oligopoly dominant player sets the price leadership and others also follows the same. That way it is. See, an observation made of an oligopolistic business behavior in which one company, usually the dominant competitor among several, leads the way in determining the others goes on following. So one that is determines the price level, others follow his trend. That way it is. Next, that is target pricing. Now, sir, what is target pricing? In simple words, let's say for example, I invested into a business. See, I made an investment with an intention. See, if I invest 1 crore rupees into my business, I expect that I should at least get 20% of return. I should get at least 20% of return on my investment. So that way it is. So when the moment I invested rupees 1 crore, I should get at least 20% of return. So basically it is my target. If I invest 30 crore rupees, I should get at least 10%. If I invest 1 lakh rupees, I should get at least 40% of return. So it is my target to earn, or that is a decent amount of return on my investment. It is called target pricing. That way it is. So basically I fix the price accordingly in order to earn the desired rate of return. See over here. Pricing methods whereby the selling price of a product is calculated to produce a particular rate of return on investment for a specific volume of production. So basically it happens like if I basically invest such a X amount of money into my business, so I expect that my business should be able to return me at least X plus 20%. That is, at least 20% should come into my pocket. So accordingly, in order to earn that rate of return of 20%, I will fix my price. So that way it is called as a target pricing. Next, what is absorption pricing? Sir, absorption pricing means I am fixing the price. I am fixing the enough price that it should cover my all the cost. That is, it should cover my fixed cost plus variable cost. All the cost should be covered. It means I am fixing enough price that it is recovering my all the cost. It is called absorption pricing. The method of pricing in which all the costs are recovered. The price of the product includes variable cost item. At the same time, it also includes fixed cost. So both should be recovered. So I should fix enough price that it gets me my recovery of fixed cost, at the same time variable cost. See, it is called absorption pricing. What is the meaning of absorption pricing? Absorption pricing is that pricing, the main aim of which is to recover all the cost which are incurred in the process, that is fixed cost plus variable cost. It is a type of cost plus pricing. And if I add margin, and if I add my profit margin, that is 20%, now it will be cost plus price. ठीक है, so basically it is a absorption pricing is a type of cost plus pricing. In cost plus pricing, what is being, how the price is being fixed? Cost plus price per profit is equal to sales. Accordingly, the selling price is being determined. But in the case of absorption pricing, I stop over here itself. That is, I just wanted to recover my fixed cost. This cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. इतना भी recover होगा तो भी चल जाएगा. That way it is. So cost plus pricing is that pricing technique in which the seller just wanted to recover it's, that is, all the costs which are incurred by him in the purpose of production process. Now what is high low pricing? आराम से समझना, आराम से, ठीक है, एकदम properly समझिएगा. What is high low pricing? Now what is happening? Example, there's a coaching classes, coaching class A, coaching class B and coaching class C. What is happening? They have kept the fees of CMA inter 80,000, 50,000, 50,000. Now, if you see, coaching class A has set really very high price. Now, what he is doing? He further is issuing coupons, and that is Winzo cards. Okay, he will get that discount cards and coupons, and after giving it to customer, and the customer comes and claim that card, he will get a discount of rupees, let's say for example 40,000, 50% discount. Now, the price after discount will be 40,000. So, at first instant, he kept the price very high, and after discount, see, the price is high as compared to competitors, and after offering the discount and scratch and win coupons thing, the price stood to, that is 40,000. So previously the price was really high as compared to competitors, and at the resultant the price is really low as compared to competitors. It is called high and low pricing. See, the method of pricing for an organization where the goods or services offered by the organization are regularly priced higher than competitors. See, they are priced higher than what was priced by competitors, but through promotion, advertisement and coupon, lower prices are offered on key items. So basically they are lowering the price than what was being offered by the competitors. Previously क्या किया, competitors सबसे ज़्यादा high price रखा, and बाद में discount, promotion, advertisement से वही price को बहुत कम कर दिया. That way it was. Yeah. Okay, next, that is marginal cost pricing. Sir, what is the meaning of marginal cost pricing? Marginal cost means the cost of producing one extra unit, or basically what happens is, yeah, example. Guys, what I am doing, in order to, that is, produce, I was producing 100 quantity. Now, it was my capacity. Now I am producing additional 10 quantity. Now in producing this additional 10 quantity, now in producing that additional 10 quantity, I am incurring 10,000 rupees. It is called my additional cost. That is called marginal cost. So my revenue after selling this quantity should be enough to recover this marginal cost. I hope you guys have got this. See, I was producing 100 quantity. Further, I produced additional 10 quantity. It was my capacity to produce only 100 quantities, which I produced and sold into the market. Next, further I got an order of additional 10 quantity. So I produced that. In producing that additional 10 quantity, I have incurred from my pocket additional amount of 10,000 rupees. So that is called additional cost. That is called marginal cost. So marginal cost must be enough to recover. So after selling this quantity, selling this 10 quantity, the cost of production for this 10 quantity was 10,000. But after selling this quantity, the revenue must be sufficient to recover this 10,000 rupees. So that way, it is called marginal pricing. So price shall be fixed accordingly, that extra cost shall be recovered. In business, the practice of setting the price of product to equal the extra cost of producing an extra unit of output. At least I should get 10,000 rupees back or more than it. That way it is called marginal cost pricing. That way it was. Then I showed you what is called as on the basis of area or locality, local market, national market, international. That way it was. Then it was very short period, perfect competition and imperfect competition. Then we did everything with regards to that. So it was being done. Now we will move to something which is called as a price discrimination. Guys, what is price discrimination? Acha, what is price discrimination? If we, acha, it is a diagram which shows that is, okay, perfect market situation of the market. Okay, I'll show you how it is. I'll show you first, that is price determination under perfect competition. We'll do that also. We'll do this also. Let's go to the blank pages. Yeah. See, price determination under perfect competition. Price determination under perfect competition. What does it means? Example. आराम से समझिएगा. I'll show you what is price determination under perfect competition, or it is also called as a equilibrium price. It is also called as a equilibrium price. Let us understand how it is being determined. It was the concept same you studied in 12th also, but let us understand in depth. What is price determination under perfect competition? Let's go forward. Yeah, sir. That way it is. So, price, demand, supply, and its analysis.